And we are live.
Oh,
Are we?
hi.
Yes,
Are we?
we are.
I don't believe you.
I'm making it up.
You're full of shit.
Oh,
DM,
I believe it.
DM confirmed liar.
I mean,
Ah.
would not surprise me in the least.
You
Mhm.
missed Zoro's giggle fits, so.
Yeah.
I was actually kind of waiting for us to go live in the middle of that.
Oh, that would have been. I almost would have pulled the mags with the giggle. Almost giggle snort, kind of, but not the snort. Yeah.
Yeah, we've been good so far about not like pulling up conversations that, you know, probably shouldn't be broadcasted on stream.
No, those are the best ones.
We came damn close yesterday.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
It was like
Yeah.
I brought us back from a break last night, right as Mags was in the middle of a giggle fit because Zoro had just said something right before I brought everyone back.
I was going to make a very dirty joke, and then the second I was like, you know what, I probably shouldn't do that. You're like, and we're back. I was like, oh.
A dirty joke from you. I'm shocked. Shocked.
Possibly appalled.
Not that shocked.
Like, no, look at me. I'm shocked.
Shocked.
Oh.
Hi, everybody.
Hi.
Missed y'all.
No, hi, Dr. Nick. You're all fired.
Oh, I didn't know we were doing Simpsons memes.
Oh,
Anytime somebody says hi, everybody, I immediately expect to hear hi, Dr. Nick. And the fact that nobody did it, you're all fired.
I don't know Simpsons.
You're
Double fired. Yeah.
If it helps at all, I'm in love with Futurama and Disenchantment. Just never got into Simpsons.
You should.
Does it still count?
Simpsons is the better of the three.
Blasphemy, sir. Futurama is.
No, I honestly think, like, especially early Simpsons, Futurama is up there. Like, they're like here and here, but like Simpsons is just got a little bit more. And I honestly think it's just because it's got 30 years of content at this point.
Yeah, it's almost as old as me. It needs to kind of die.
No, there have been some down seasons, but the recent seasons have actually been pretty good.
I mean, they're really good
What
at
else do they
social
have to
commentary. Come
Yeah.
on.
Yeah,
What else do they have left to do?
talk about social shit.
Oh,
Yeah,
well, pop
like,
culture
literally.
keeps them alive, I guess.
Yeah,
All of culture.
I mean, they honestly, like, their writers are good. They continue to put out decent work. It's probably not their best work anymore. Like, that's probably waned a bit, but it's still good, watchable. Like, I look forward to it every week, and when it's off the air for the summer, I'm like, oh, there's no Simpsons tonight. Fuck. So it's one of those shows. I would have liked them to continue the original Futurama that was on Fox. Like, when it got to Comedy Central, it did not hold up as well. Actually, I take it back. What I would like them to do with the Futurama IP is just keep making movies, like every couple of years. Like, put out another movie. That'd be cool.
Yeah, the Simpsons did a esports episode last week.
That's what it was. I was
Yeah,
trying
it
to
was
remember. I was like,
esports.
something super relevant.
What?
Yeah, they did an episode
Oh
on
my
esports.
God.
It was like a huge spoof on League of Legends.
Yeah. It was a good episode. As far as, like, so they do a good job of keeping up with current pop culture events. And the fact that they've had, like, Green Day and other celebrities on every once in a while doesn't hurt. So
Yeah, I haven't had cable in like 7 years, so
Yeah, I haven't either.
I don't watch TV.
I'm gonna not say things. Moving on. Like, there are ways around
How
that.
dare you be
Just put it
alive?
at that.
Oh no, it's not even a life. I'm just too busy, you know, planning things and streaming things and looking for things. Like, I haven't really sat down and watched like more than 2 episodes on TV in multiple years.
How is everybody this week? It's Zoro. This is my first time seeing you in like a fucking month. How are you?
It feels like it, doesn't it?
It does.
Yeah,
I
no.
think it has been about a month, actually.
I think it's been 2 weeks, actually.
Missing each other.
Well, maybe 2-3 weeks. I don't know. But no, it was good. My sister gave birth to her daughter, who's an absolute sweetheart. She actually just turned 2 weeks today? 2 weeks today.
Congratulations.
Yeah, thank you. She but because I'm borrowing my sister's car, since I have no vehicle while I'm up here looking for a job, something went wrong and they had to replace the battery, but it's a hybrid, so it was the hybrid battery. which apparently is a whole thing in
Different
itself.
thing, yeah.
So I'm like, okay, well, since we had to order some parts, I have nowhere to drive, so I guess I'm just staying over here with my family who lives literally in the mountains. So couldn't watch streams, couldn't really text anyone, no communication, which is fine for a very short period of time, but not for 2 weeks. So, and I'm continuing Anthem, and I just got to a really crazy part in the story, and I had to stop. So I was like, oh! So,
Right on.
yeah. So yeah, now I'm back, and it's wonderful.
Welcome back. HP
Thanks.
Fox, Mountain Man, or soon to be Mountain Man. I don't know how close you are to that, but
to be
building his own Norwegian longhouse in the middle of the frozen north.
Yeah, I'm going up there at the end of this month to lay the footings down, and then I'm going to take a week sometime in April to start framing and sheathing and doing all that fun stuff. But it's, you know, I've built a few houses before, so it's not going to be any strenuous learning activities or anything like that. It'll be good. I'm ready to get out of this place. I've been here far too long. I'm tired of it. Tired of everything. I'm tired of the city. I'm tired of my neighbors. I'm tired of the view. I want to go. But aside from that, winding down from our division event, that's also in air quotes because there's no winding down. It's just working on other stuff now.
Yep.
We have an event for Shadows Die Twice on Friday, which is going to be good because Hunter's going to be busy with that, and I can just take my own time to work on other stuff because I'm not playing that game.
Fair enough. Question for you: when you're that far north of the wall, do you just go find land and like put a stake in it and be like, "No, this is mine now"?
I don't want to say no, but I don't want to say yes either, because there's a lot of land up there that's just somebody owns it and you could get it for like dirt cheap, but it's going to have like hills and mountains and nothing's flat up there, and it's very little actual building territory up there. But
To be fair, that's like large chunks of Canada.
I was going to say that's
Yeah,
all of Canada.
that's,
Right?
yeah,
Literally, that's your description of your country.
pretty much.
It's frozen hills with
Nah.
undead dragons.
All the people live in like the bottom third of the country for the most part.
Yeah. There's so you have people in like a band at the bottom of the country, and
That's
then
a
you
huge
have
band. That's
it-
like 100 members.
well, it's more like 75,
Sorry.
but okay. You're being generous. And then you have
I was counting the
spots.
wolves. Okay.
Oh, okay, well there you go. Yeah.
Those are north.
And then you have spots of people up north. You don't really have anybody in the middle.
No, you're either like really north or near the border.
Yeah, and I don't really understand why, because the land in the middle of Canada is a little more hospitable than the land to the north, but
It's beautiful here.
you know, people do as they do, and it is beautiful here. I'm going to post a link here in chat. The pictures in that tweet are exactly what I'm going to see when I step out my front door or when I look out my windows. So
That is super awesome.
I'm excited for that.
I'm assuming, given your profession, you have internet access that far north of the wall.
Yeah, it's not as fast as what I have here, but it will certainly do the trick. And high speed is supposed to be coming to the area in the next year or two.
Yeah, there was a big push actually a couple years back that any area that has a school has to have high speed.
Yep.
Nice. That's
And
completely
That is
reasonable.
gorgeous.
to that tune, now it's turning into it's fiber optic to anywhere there's a school.
That's reasonable. It's almost like countries that have developing infrastructure should prioritize internet. I don't know that I'm talking about anybody specifically here, America.
It's only where my parents lived.
Sorry,
Oh.
still salty about the way that we handle our internet and that net neutrality is a big fight. But I'm not going to get on a soapbox about it. Raven, we caught up a little bit earlier.
I'm not going into that. That's a 2-hour soapbox.
But it's good to see you. We'll do it that way.
Yeah, I'm here. I'm alive. We're good.
Rojan, how's your? Well, I saw you on Sunday, but how's your week going?
Pretty good. Tormenting people on Tuesday. They narrowly avoided a TPK. Thanks to one of the witch spells that Mags's character has, but they've only prolonged their death as they have 3 days before the dragon that she charmed snaps out of it and then comes looking for them.
Yeah, that sounds fun.
Oh, I think it's great.
Yeah, I feel bad for I don't feel bad for their characters because they put themselves in that position, I'm sure.
Yeah, and that's what I told Zoro earlier in one of the tweets is like, stop picking fights with Fae and dragons, you'll be fine.
To be fair, the hags came after us.
And conned you into going and becoming a meal for a dragon.
Yeah, the hags came after us. We sought out help, and then the dragons decided, nah, fuck these guys. We're going to eat them.
In my defense...
Dragon, the fact that wasn't its first response.
They weren't a dragon when we first saw them.
That's true. In my defense, apparently 2 hags held out for Ash. One, she can see why. The other one, not her fault. Not her fault.
I honestly, anybody that played with me in Chult, the fact that you even talk to dragons anymore surprises the shit out of me. Like, there was that one dragon in Chult, and everybody was like, "Oh, we'll talk." No.
Listen, I can talk to dragons, but my party, let me tell you.
You guys actually talked to a dragon on the Sunday game, and it went relatively well. At least the conversation with the dragon did. And he even helped you guys out. So there was that. That one didn't go poorly. Of course, that was also a brass dragon. So
the Sunday game also doesn't have party members dropping donkeys on themselves.
Not yet.
Lighting everything on fire.
Okay, because I missed it, and I keep hearing donkeys getting dropped on people. The only thing that I think of, did anybody play Worms?
Yeah.
Yes. The concrete donkey sound effect went through my head.
That's pretty much what it is, because when it happens, a donkey appears over their head 100 feet and falls on them for 10d6 damage.
Yeah, that's a
and then vanishes.
And then it vanished. No, it exploded.
Okay, I was gonna say it should explode at the end of that.
Yeah,
But he wanted that donkey ever since he created a chaotic wizard. He was like, please let a donkey drop on my head. Oh yeah, let's have this happen when we're getting ready to fight a white dragon.
I'm waiting for the roll.
Or then half your health is gone.
I'm waiting for the roll that it says your eyes turn into potatoes and fall out of its sockets. You are blinded until you are cured by a wish spell.
No potato.
Oh my God.
Yeah, something I want to mention real quick before we get into game tonight. For those that may have missed the Sunday show, since we were talking about Canada, Animated Break, another fine person that lives north of the wall, has joined us on Waste High and Waterdeep, or at least his cousin Vinegard has, and it's fantastic. If you missed his character, go check the VOD after the stream tonight.
I love Vinegard.
Fantastic character. So good. I'm really happy to have him added to the cast. He and I talked about it a little bit on Sunday, but we've been trying to get him slowly and politely.
I was just going to say that, Fox. I was just going to say the Canadians are taking over Behold Roleplay.
I need to get HB Fox, Raven, Animated Break, and Mike the Bard all together on a show, and it'll just be the Canadian show.
It'll be the politest party you've ever dealt with.
And of course, the setting has to be like in the tundra or something.
Right. But the problem is we won't get anything done because you will all sit there and apologize to each other the whole stream.
No, Fox, he'd throw us in like the middle of a desert or something.
Yeah.
It's like, this isn't natural.
No, they would just surprise everybody, and they would be the biggest band of murder hobos ever.
What was it on like a Family Guy or something a long time ago about the Canadian prison? It's like, where you going? I'm just going outside. All right, just be back by bedtime. Okay. And he just walks out of jail. In guard or whatever. Like, Canada's too nice.
It would be interesting. I want to see the Canadians. What I would do, I think, if I had a show cast full of Canadians, would it be have the
Cast full of Canadians. Oh my god. Sorry.
play city guard somewhere, but they
Oh
have
my
to
God.
play stereotypical Canadians as their characters, so they have to be way too polite to everybody that comes around.
If that
They're
happens, you
they're
have to make the
called
Mountie class.
They're called Mounties Imp.
Yeah, I was gonna say that the correct term is Mountie.
It'll be a Mountie show. And,
Oh my god, that would just be please do that. I want all the Canadians to just get
The, the Mounties of Icewind Dale.
what is the show I'm trying to remember about Mounties? Northern
There's a movie.
Northern Exposure, was
Northern
that right?
Exposure. Yeah,
Is that right?
yeah, it's
God.
Northern Exposure.
Okay. Anyway,
That's
I'm gonna
hysterical.
sit
I
here
would
and
watch
think
that.
about that if we don't move on. And I already have enough shows and projects that I'm planning that I don't need another one. Yeah, we're playing game tonight. Dragon Age. That's the game we're playing. I got there. Thank you.
The
It's just
super grim dark opposite of Canada game.
the you can't hit shit because your weapons aren't magical game.
Okay,
Nope.
I do have to ask one question because there's back on the Canadian thing for just a second. Raven, when he was talking about a Mountie show, were you thinking due south like I was?
I was thinking due south, and I also had the Mountie song from Arrogant Worms going through my head at the same time.
What,
Yeah, because I have no idea what Northern
what
Exposure
is due
is.
south?
So do I. This sounds like an American thing.
I looked
Wait.
it up. It is an
Isn't
American
one of the
thing.
Canadians like Dudley Do Right or something?
What is
Yeah.
due south?
Due
I've
south
never
is a
heard of
Canadian
this.
show about a Mountie.
Hey,
Is it-
Canada
is it-
makes some great shows, okay?
Wait, I have to ask now. Is due south just Northern Exposure, and they just changed the name?
No.
No, okay, because
No.
that would have
Kind
been
of like
hilarious.
Being Human.
Due
Oh,
south
they've done
is
that.
a Mountie that has to go down south into the States and work with their police force.
That's Northern Exposure.
Oh my god.
I've never heard of it.
Northern
Neither
Exposure
have I.
is literally a Mountie who's working with the police force.
So it is literally the same show. They just flop
Yeah.
the names and the setting.
Is Nathan Fillion the Mountie though?
No.
Damn it.
I think it was God, what was his name?
He's a good Canadian.
Paul Gross.
Should I just list all the Canadian actors?
I have to look it up now.
I'm looking at Wikipedia. That's the top name under starring, so I'm going to assume it's Paul Gross.
Yes, that is him.
I just remember I fell in love with a show that was all filmed in Canada. It was all Canadian actors and everything, and I just fell in love with it. Or I think it was mostly Canadian actors. It was called Lost Girl. And I was just like, this is amazing. And I just got into like Canadian shows ever since.
Lost Girl sounds familiar, but I don't think
It's about how she's a succubus. It's a fantasy.
Oh, that's
modern day.
Yeah, it's a more recent show. I think within the last decade at least.
Yeah, it went only 5 seasons. They just wanted to do 5 seasons that told their story. But yeah, I think it was done maybe 3 years ago. Like the show finished about 3 years ago. So it's pretty recent. It's so good. If you ever get the chance, it's so good.
So,
Before we go on about Canadian TV shows, which I know all of none, apparently I need to change that. Giving the looks I'm getting from HP Fox, I feel like he's judging me now,
I'm judging everybody.
as you do. All right, fair. Yeah, we should hop into Blood on the Gray, which I mentioned earlier, but now that I actually know it, is our Dragon Age game. Yeah, what are we doing?
so who wants to give a little rundown of how screwed you guys are because of the events of last week?
I'm just really
I feel like the anti-Canadian should tell it since she's the one laying on her back right now.
I'm sorry, I'm unconscious at the moment, so
Not unconscious, just watching the blood drain from your body as you're like looking up at your companions for help.
Oh, come on. We need the
went in-
record scratch. Yep, that's me.
we went into a dungeon. The loudmouth blood mage interrupted a ritual. The person casting the ritual bursts into a demon. Loudmouth blood mage is dying. We can't hit the demon because none of our weapons are magical.
I mean, that's a good TLDR.
that's kind of where
That was
pretty
like
much what I
super
remember.
short, man.
Yep, you guys found the location of what you were told was the necromancer's hut. But then you didn't discover that it was inhabited by a pretty much senile old man who doesn't look like he would be harmed to anybody. But Valantha found a underground basement underneath the barn of this guy's farm that led into this large stone labyrinth. You guys went down in there to investigate. You fought a couple skeletons, and then you heard chanting echoing throughout the hallways. You followed it. You came across another man doing a blood ritual, which pissed off Astia. She interrupted it, which was a bad thing, which caused the guy to botch the ritual and then be taken over and become a shade, who then attacked you. And you are finding that your weapons are pretty much the equivalent of wet noodles against this thing.
Except the one person who can only do damage has not done a lot of damage and is now dying.
Oh yeah, and HP Fox's character can't roll above a 10 to use heal, so...
yeah.
So as we pick up again, we are still in combat here.
Yeah,
starting off with Orzus.
Trying to get my character sheet pulled up. I'm going to attempt to hit the thing again because I've got nothing else to do. I mean, I
Because if we
suppose
get
hit the blood mage and just make it go by faster. But
well, if you get high enough with your doubles, you can make your weapons magical
Yep.
attacks. I think.
yeah, you can.
It's three stun points.
Stun points, yeah.
Yep, and it's called
Alright.
Spirit Bane.
And my character sheet is fucky. They've changed the character sheet,
Have they?
Did they?
or I'm just remembering the wrong character sheet. One of the two.
Looks the
It
same.
has been a couple weeks.
Okay. All right, so I think, and if I remember correctly, Orzus had his "I'm tired of this shit" hammer out.
Yeah.
So we're using that. And because I'm just standing right next to the shade, I'm gonna attempt to hit it with the "fuck you" stick.
All right. Hey, there you go. You got
Oh!
okay. That will hit it. And since you got the stunt and you have 6 stunt points, you can use Spirit Bane to wound it.
Yeah, I'm definitely using Spirit Bane, and I think that gives me 3 more stun points.
And you have 3 stunt points on top of that as well.
Which I've got to remember what I can use. So I'm pulling up the.
So with
That's what I
Spirit
do
Bane,
too.
the normal damage, it's normal damage, but it substitutes your magic score for your strength score.
Okay.
So I don't
You
know.
could do a lightning attack and make a second attack against it. That's
I
one
might have
option.
to go with that. Do you get stunts on the second attack if you happen to roll doubles again?
I
No.
don't
Nope.
think you
No.
do.
Okay.
There's
So-
one that boosts the damage, though.
That's probably where I'm going to go. I'm just trying to
And
find
there's
stunts.
also one that burns
Page
through,
61.
Thank you.
Oh, I thought I sent this to you guys just to have it out, but I don't have the magic one out, so Fox will have
Yeah.
to.
So
Yeah, I've got it right here.
Mighty Blow and
All right, so I've got 3 to use.
Mhm.
I can use Mighty Blow. Mighty Blow gives me an extra D6 of damage.
yep.
Disarm seems useless.
skirmish would allow you to pull it off of Fox.
Yeah, but how much do I? No, my character actually does care about that, so I might have to use skirmish. And then I could also. All right, so this is what I'm going to do. So I've got 3 stunts that I'm using all together. So we're going to use the Spirit Bane. Which
Okay.
For 3.
gets rid of 3 of them. Then we're going to use skirmish. You can move yourself or the target of your attack 2 yards in any direction. So he's getting moved 2 yards away from HB Fox's character.
If I remember right, 2 yards is 1 square, correct?
Yes.
Correct.
Yeah. Okay, I have to relearn.
And then I am also taking defensive stance, which is going to give me a +2 defense
All right.
until the beginning of my next turn.
All right. So go ahead and roll that damage. Make sure that it's your magic score, not your strength score, that gets added to as extra damage on this one.
My magic score and
Yeah.
not my strength score? Okay.
Because you are
What the heck is your magic score?
Oh,
Oh, right. See it now.
So we're going to change this to a +1. Okay. Remember to change that back to 3. Before we do this,
Okay.
just to be sure, do my focuses come into play? Because I do have might as a focus. And I don't know if that will help this. I feel like it might, so that's why I'm asking.
That should apply on any swing you do with that weapon.
Yeah, because
Yep.
it's part of your weapon. Yeah,
Okay, so
I would think.
how does that get added into the bonus?
I think if you just click it, it should all add up together. I think. God, I don't remember.
There you
go.
So it didn't actually add it before because it's not on my weapon. So
Yeah.
that's weird.
Yeah, that
Okay.
you click that to use for your attack rolls. But now since you've already hit it with the previous one, you can do the damage to it.
But might doesn't affect damage at all.
No.
Okay, that's what I was trying to figure out. Okay, so we're rolling damage for the spiked warhammer. It's getting moved. I'm getting +2 to my defense, and it's actually taking damage this time. So fuck that guy. He's gonna take a nice 11.
And then you get an additional 1d6 on top of that from the from skirmish. Another
Sure.
one, so
12.
for 12.
From skirmish.
Damn.
A lot of
Not
fucking get off me.
skirmish, but what is it called?
I think he did defensive
Mighty
and
blow.
skirmish.
No, I didn't do mighty blow.
Oh, you didn't do mighty blow. Okay.
no,
so,
I did skirmish and defense.
All right, so you didn't get the +1.
Yeah.
All right, so you swing and you can see that the maul just takes a chunk out of the shade's body as you push it back, giving you a little realization that even though it's incorporeal and it's hard to hit, anything that hits it seems to be cleaving normal damage. Like it's not resisting any of it.
Okay.
Valantha.
As much as it pains me to not attack it, I did remember that I would help. I'm not going to say help a sister out because we're not sisters. We'll help her out. So I'm gonna squeeze. She's skinny enough she can squeeze around.
Give me 1 second here because I need to remember what the rules are for trying to bring somebody back from on the verge of death.
Yes. Because that was my next question. I'm like, now what do I do?
Give me
And
1 second.
I remember correctly at the end of last session, I was holding my healer's kit out for whoever.
Yes, I do remember that. You were just like, I have this.
Because that has bandages and stuff inside of it.
Do I have it? What kit do I have? I think I just have like a thieves kit or whatever it's called. Lockpicks. Just have lockpicks.
See heal on page 59.
Technically, we're still learning the game, so
Yeah, this is our.
We're relearning the game.
on top of learning new rules.
Okay.
I mean, it's only episode 3.
Killing characters. Something I'm proficient in, apparently.
Just ask Sale.
All right.
Yeah.
2+ Constitution and rounds until they die. Note the healing goes below 0. What's up?
How does the Shadow Spectre Wraith thing look after my attack? Like, is it clearly hurt, or is it just?
It's clearly hurting. From the way that you hit it, you can see that there's just a huge tear across the middle from where the spikes bit in.
Okay.
Let's see, killing characters. I need to know how to save characters.
No, we're not killing today yet.
This Dragon Age, you don't save characters.
Right, they just die.
No, you just go up to them, hold down on X while your thing just fills up, and then they pop back up with very little health.
Little did you know that Dragon Age is more grimdark than Warhammer. Like, no, there's no healing. You're just fucked.
I mean, once I actually become a blood mage and I'm in blood mage mode, then there's no healing for me.
That's fine. Because
yeah.
All right, you provide quick first aid to an injured ally. You must be adjacent to your ally and you must have bandages ready. This is a cunning healing test. If you are successful, your ally gets back the amount of health equal to the dragon die plus your cunning. A character cannot benefit from another heal action until they take additional damage. So I need you to give me a cunning test.
Okay.
In order to try to use the heal. So that will be 8, 11, 14. All right, so you are able to heal Astia for 4 HP.
Sweet.
Plus whatever your cunning is, right?
Plus 3.
No, hold on.
Oh,
Die plus your cunning, yes. Die plus your cunning.
Yes.
So a total of 7 HP.
Look, as much as I love seeing you on your ass, it's time for you to get up and help us because, as much as I hate to admit it, my bows aren't exactly powerful with this guy, so come on, do something. And that's the end of my turn. Or no, I don't think I can attack because that's like a whole action too, huh?
That is a major action. So
yeah. Okay. That's good.
Yep, so you save the blood mage.
I am going to take, actually, can I finish my movement? Is it like D&D where I could kind of finish my movement if I wanted to?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, I'm going to step a little further back. Because my range is redonkulous on this thing. So yeah, no, that's good. That's the end. Kind of go like, there you go, back off. Push her maybe a little bit like, there you go.
All right. So the Shade's attention now just fully turns to Orzus, who has managed to just cleave off a section of it as it lunges towards the Talvashoth with its claws out, and it goes to make a draining touch attack.
Off.
What's that?
Fuck off.
Fuck off. Does a 13 beat your defense? I don't think it does.
Fuck off.
Fuck off.
Don't touch me.
Right, its claws just like brace across like the stomach portion of your armor, giving you like this, like a chill runs up your spine, but nothing big happens to you. Magnus.
Can't remember. Does flanking give a bonus at all?
It does not.
Okay. Either way, I am going to basically sort of sidestep leap as a charge at this thing.
Okay.
Which
I think you actually have to move a certain amount of yards for that. Let me check for the actions for a charge. A charge, you may move up to half your speed rounded down in yards and then make a melee attack against an adjacent enemy.
So up to.
Up to. So yes, you could. So the jumping.
Just basically a side reposition.
Yep.
All right, and that gives a +1, which should be that.
You're looking to beat a 15. So 6, that will beat it.
But it's not going to do
no
a
damage.
damn thing.
So axe goes out flying, and it looks like it should bite into it, but then again, the blade just doesn't catch any of its ethereal body. Stia.
So she kind of stumbles in this direction, kind of hand on the side of her head, where her head made very strong contact with the wall, and there's a bit of blood trickling down. Even Valentha's quips are like barely registering in her mind, and she kind of looks over her shoulder at this thing with what little willpower she's got left, throws an arcane lance at it.
Okay, the arcane lance will not hit. Man, your spells just suck.
Why do we even have this mage?
As the arcane spell,
What is
the
going
arcane
on with my
lance
dice?
flies from Estia. It just collides with the wall, like next to the shade.
It's a 17 and it still doesn't hit.
Wait, is that a 17?
Yeah, 5. No, it's a. Oh, I'm sorry. I
12.
counted an extra 5 in there.
I was just like, wait, can I not math anymore?
I was looking at the actual dice rolls, and it was showing me the wrong thing.
Nope.
But
I trust anyone who tells me numbers because I don't know math. My brain shuts down as a defense
it's a
mechanism.
25. Every dice roll was a 6.
It is what?
Orzus.
All right, so to clarify, I should actually be using my might when I'm making my attack so that it
Correct.
gets that bonus. Okay, I
Yeah.
haven't been doing that. So luckily last time went fine. But if we get some doubles in here, that'd be great.
There you go.
Oh,
You
Yeah.
get
Shiz,
that is
kill
another
that
double
motherfucker.
6 that does beat the 15 defense, so you can once again use Spirit Vein.
Why do we even have this mage? So yeah, so you're definitely using Spirit Bane again. I feel like this time, because the mage is up, I don't need to use skirmish. So I've still got 3 points. Let's see. I feel like I'm gonna do rapid reload. Doesn't do me any good. I think I'm still gonna because it's only the other one SP cost stunt. So I'm going to use skirmish, but I am going to use mighty blow this time instead of the defense.
Alrighty.
So rolling my attack, and I'm using my magic instead of my strength, which sucks, but that's fine. And then it's getting an additional d6, so plus 1 d6. I'm just going to do this all in the.
Yep.
And then it's getting moved 2 feet, yards, a square, diagonally, so it's beside Magnus.
Okay.
And he's just has that big, ugly, spiked warhammer, and it's just like a baseball bat trying to take this thing's head off its shoulders.
Ooh.
For 15 points of damage.
As once again that warhammer just bites into the side of the shade's head, tearing the lower jaw section of the creature away from it, pushing it next to Magnus. Just rage now burning in its eyes as this lowly mortal is tearing it to shreds. Valentha.
Okay. Well, the mage is up. She's gonna. Oh, wrong person. She's gonna go ahead and she's gonna shoot.
She's gonna shoot the door.
So far the dwarf is the only one she really trusts.
Oh, I see how it is.
She just met you, bro.
Yeah, but he's the one that's
She's been
I'm the one doing all the work.
yeah, he's been
She's
cleaving
been here
this
for
thing.
2 hours. Maybe 3 hours. Where
See how it is.
our relationship is still fresh.
I mean, to be fair, Orzus is the reason why we're in this place right now. He wanted to come see the necromancer.
I wanted to come kill the necromancer.
I mean, same thing, honestly.
I could kill the necromancer without seeing it. Blindfold me. I bet I can do it.
Okay, so I hit my bows, correct? I think so.
Yeah.
So that's what, 8, 10. So a 16, but the arrow is just going to fly through it
Yeah.
as you're unable to channel Spirit Bane.
Yeah, that's okay.
Shifting back right where it was at, again, just like this
Oh.
hatred now burning in its eyes. It just wildly swipes towards Orzus, trying to show it the air of his ways.
No touch. Fuck off. Fuck off.
Does 17 hit you?
17 will hit.
17 will hit. All right, so there's no stunts.
Good.
All right, and this is going to be 7 penetrating damage. So your armor rating will not stop any of it.
Okay, so I'm just taking 7 points
Yep.
of damage.
As its claws just reach through your armor, and you can feel it just shred the flesh underneath.
All right. I think
Magnus. Oh, I'm sorry, what?
I was gonna say, I think he probably grunts and like grabs his shoulder with one hand or his stomach with one hand, but still has that like the warhammer across the back of his shoulders and is not like you can just see his grip on it tighten.
Now, with a disapproving grunt of the lack of success last time, I'm going to give this one more go.
Oh. Dang it.
The axe just again swings through it, and there's just a metal, a loud clank and a spark as your axe just clangs into the wood wall. Not the wood wall, but the stone wall next to you. Astia.
Appointed.
She kind of squints her eyes and focuses on this kind of general area here, realizing that her last lance went way wide. She kind of holds her head for a moment, kind of shakes herself, wipes the blood out of her eyes, and tries again. I swear to God, this does not hit. I'm going to quit being a mage.
Did you say that in character?
No.
Oh.
So 5, 7, 8, 10, 13 will not hit.
These dice. What?
Why do we even have this mage?
You know, maybe you should make since you're a blood mage, you should make your dice red.
They were red. I changed them to see if
there was dice shaving involved in this.
I don't think I
we're
have
muted.
ever rolled a spell outside of heal that hasn't had a 1 and a 2 in the 3d6 roll.
I think you're right.
Orzus.
Zora, I think you're muted.
Yeah.
Sorry,
very
I was gonna say,
animated.
in your defense, Fox, I think you're trying to go more gold. Maybe they're a little too yellow. Adjust it a little more to like the brownish gold part, and maybe it will work now. I think it's just the hue that's off.
We're just going to be bright hot pink now.
Oh, God.
Oh, Lord. Eventually, it'll just roll perfectly. It's like, okay, that's
One
it.
of these colors has to work for me, right?
You can't have my blue purple. It's been working way too well for me. Yeah, I think he's gonna like just shove the warhammer off of his shoulder since he's kind of gripping his ribs and just bring it around. Use that momentum to kind of bring it around and try to cut diagonally through the thing.
All right.
No,
Nope.
fuck off.
This time it's a little it's catching on to your style of combat, and it just gracefully like moves out of the way for just a second and comes back into like the full square, giving a very wispy laugh at in your direction. Valenta.
Question. I'm just trying to see if I could maybe do something a little different. What exactly can I know anything from it if I use cultural lore, or is that something else entirely different?
That is something different. Your cultural lore wouldn't really tell you anything about the shade.
Okay. Well, I was just trying to switch it up, but I will keep trying to shoot it in the face if I can. Oh, I got doubles, but that doesn't hit it.
Nope,
Or does it?
that will not hit it. You need three stunt points in order to use the Spirit Bane.
Yeah, well, that's 2s and a 1. Yeah, no.
All right, back
Darn
to our friend the Shade.
He's not a friend.
Don't touch. No. I'm assuming he's attacking me, but no.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
So like it again, just like brings its claws across you, but you're able to, again, you just like kind of mimicking it what it just did. You just do the same thing as its claws just catch air. And it
Look,
gets
I can dance around too.
and it just gives a frustrated hiss. You can see the fist of its claws just start, or the claws turning the fist and just balling up in anger. Magnus.
Why won't this just die?
No touchy the fighter. So 8, no, that will not hit. Astia, the one who should have the easiest time hitting this thing.
Why do we even have this mage?
So she just very not regally at all, very unladylike, screams out in anger at this thing. And I swear to God.
So 9, 12, 15, that will hit.
Thank God. Pink does it for me. I'm keeping pink dice for the whole game.
It's a Dragon Age miracle.
Okay, and it's going to take 8 damage.
All right, so with that 8 damage, what does it look like when it dies?
Oh my God, thank you.
So she's just so mad and so frustrated that this arcane lance shines a bit brighter than normal. And when the kind of electrically charged crimson light strikes this thing, it just bursts into sparks and beams of light, and it like blinds everybody for a second. And when they can all see again, it's just, does it leave a corpse? Its wisps are just disappearing.
Yeah, so what happens is you see its like head go back in agony as the wisp just starts fading, and then as it dies, there's just now like this ball of negative light just laying there for a moment, and then it just goes this dark gray color.
Oh, I'm glad you love tapped it.
Hey, Orzus is gonna walk, like, turn to where Astia is and immediately walk in her direction and just like loom over her. Why did that take so long? Get your shit together. And then just
Did take a
walk out. He's still very frustrated by that fight.
And I think she's still too shaken by that concussion to quit back. That was a heavy hit that she took.
Do we want to look around and see if there's anything else?
I just want to rest and then
Well,
get out of here.
You can sit down. I didn't say you had to come with me. I was just saying if you wanted to.
She's kind of leaned up against the wall and slides down until she's sitting on the ground and just takes a breather.
Speaking of breathers, it's about time for our first break.
Yep.
Oh, goodness.
You guys that are hanging out as we're playing some Dragon Age and finally done with that stupid fucking Wraith. Thanks for being here. Appreciate it. I might have been slightly aggravated by an enemy that I normally couldn't hit. We're going to take a quick 5-minute break, get up, stretch our legs, do all that good fun stuff, and we will be back shortly. Thanks for hanging around. If you haven't done so already, if you would do us a great favor and hit retweet on that link that I just dropped in chat and let people know that the stream's live. Doesn't cost you anything, does a lot to help support the channel. So we would really appreciate it if you could retweet that for us, and we will be back momentarily.
Right before we go on our break, make sure to level yourself up to level 2.
No, I was gonna say I would
don't
like to
know what
take
that
5. I'm gonna remember to take 5. Damn it!
I remember.
So
Oh, shit.
level up, your health increases 1d6 plus Constitution. The character may increase a single ability by 1. This must be a primary ability if an even number was gained, a secondary if it was an odd level gained. Character can pick a 1 new ability focus. This must be a focus from a primary ability if the number level gained was even, a second ability if it, or secondary if it was odd. The character gains the class power for their new level. If you need to look at it, it's also on page 37 of the Game Master's Guide version 1.2.
Or page 26 of the player's guide from set 1.
There we go.
26.
And with that, we will be back in about 5 minutes.
Feed the doges.
All right, we are back.
Welcome back, I think.
Hello.
Hello.
Heidi ho.
Think I'm about done leveling up.
Can take me a while because I get to pick a new spell.
All right.
Ooh.
So while that is while you're picking the new spell and everything, the basement, it seems all but clear now of any taint or corruption from the blood magic ritual. The bodies that were in the sacrificial circle have been dealt with. The shade has been destroyed, leaving the group alone down beneath the earth. So what are you doing?
Valantha is going to explore the different parts and see if they've missed anything or can find anything of value.
Okay. You can go ahead and give me the perception skill check, which I believe you can use
Seeing?
seeing, yes. So what is that?
14?
14. So when you walk into the room, it smells a little better than the ones that you have been in previously. And you can see that there is just a mound of clothing and discarded items just littered across the floor of the room. It looks like the blood mage before his transformation was using this just to store unneeded garments and items from the forced volunteers of his rituals.
Do the items look of anything of value at all, or they just look like basic?
They look like basic stuff. It doesn't look like a lot of the adventuring sort were taken. This was more of just random villagers and whatnot that the rogues were grabbing from taverns during the night. They would grab like the drunks or the ones that had passed out.
Okay.
Question,
And that was just from that room?
Yes.
Okay.
question for you real quick, Brojan,
Yeah.
because I'm not sure how you want to handle that. When we level up, do we gain all of our health back, or are we still at whatever our health was?
You gain whatever health you rolled back.
Okay.
I also, I think I said it before we went off, that I took a 5 to gain back some health before we leveled up too.
Yeah.
Took
Oh,
5.
Okay, yeah. You can, because that's the short rest thing.
Yeah.
So somebody refresh my memory. Taking 5 gives me back how much health?
It's it's
Your-
5 plus your constitution and your level.
So
Back.
10. Okay. Okay. Cool. I'm gonna take 5 as well with the Orzus because he wasn't feeling real great.
Maybe collect your weaponry that you haphazardly threw somewhere.
Yeah.
Oh
I
yeah.
remember right, that's back like over here somewhere.
As all of this is going on, does I need to ask because I can't find it anywhere. Does anybody know where the section or chapter is on magical or enchanted gear?
Oh god, I was just on it. Dang it.
I was gonna look, but the answer is no. I have no idea. It was like I was getting ready to start looking through books, and I was like, "There's
Because
12
that
books."
entire
Like,
fight, I'm scrolling through 3 different books trying to find the chapter on it where I think it would be the DM guide or the player guide, and I can't find anything on it.
Yeah. So who published this? While I'm thinking about it,
This is BioWare's own thing.
BioWare. It is Green Ronin. Green Ronin is the publisher.
Oh,
Yeah.
Green Ronin, if you're listening, condense your goddamn BioWare books. I don't need 12 books. I don't think
Never.
anybody from Green Ronin's listening, but if you are, condense your fucking books.
These are all spells. I could have sworn I saw them on here. Maybe it was just basic armor.
yes, cat.
Nope. Google it real quick.
I will do that.
It's like, if all else fails, Google it. I'm looking at the index, and that just is magic. Yeah, okay. Why did I find something magical in this room?
Maybe.
Maybe.
Page 327 of the core book. Where's my folder here?
I'm looking at my PDF and it's like, it's got 65 pages. I don't think it has a page 327.
Yeah, Player's Guide, page 40, or Core Rulebook 76. It says.
Page 40, it says?
That's armor and
Hold
shield.
on, let me.
It's lies. It's what it is.
Yeah, I think that's lies.
It is lies.
Oh, that's just for spells and stuff. No, that's not what I.
It's lies.
Dummy. Here we go. Magical items and artifacts. If this is even correct. No, that's for D&D.
Yay, learning new game systems. I'm looking. I'm not finding. I am looking now.
That's magical weapons you can find in Dragon Age 2. No, not the game. I said Dragon Age Tabletop RPG. Come on, Google. Get your shit together. Well.
Chad, if you would like to be helpful and use your Google food, we'd appreciate it. You guys exist. We should tap you as a resource. Go find it for us. Be useful. I will give
King
you.
Roach insanity.
I will give you nothing, but my appreciation,
Love, respect.
which is totally worth something. I will say while we are looking for the information, I will take a moment to talk about.
Molthulu, thank you for the host.
Well, Thulu, appreciate the host. That's one thing we're going to talk about. The other thing is that I put out a message in Discord earlier this week, and the response to it was pretty positive. So I've taken up and begun to learn how to make dungeon tiles and crafting stuff because I run a couple of in-person D&D games and have been really enjoying it. And so I put a poll up in, or not really a poll, but an informal inquiry in Discord as to if people would like a dice tower that I make as a giveaway. And the response to it was overwhelmingly positive. So I'm working on making a dice tower. I'm not going to say when it's done because I've got to go get more stuff. I've got to get some more foam core for it, and I've got to paint it. It's a learning process. First time I built one, but we are going to do that eventually. Is give one away that is handmade and unique to whoever wins it at some point on this channel in the near-ish future. I don't want to give myself a date like it'll be done next week because I will lie. It will not be done next week because I've still got to. I've got most of the pieces cut out already. I've got to seal them, and then I've got to paint them, and then I've actually got to start cutting out the stone and stuff to actually make it look like a tower and not just a weird box. So it's in the process. I'm working on it, but it was something that people seem to be interested in. So we're gonna give one away at some point once I'm done making it in the future sometime. I know that St. Jude is doing their big monthly or their big push event in April, so I'm hoping that I can be done by then. Or excuse me, big push in May starts at the end of April, so maybe we can give it away during the St. Jude event as an incentive to help donate for St. Jude. Which, if you guys were not here earlier this year in January when we did that big push, we ended up raising $3,100 for St. Jude, which is a fantastic organization, does a lot of cancer research and helps take care of families and children that are suffering with cancer, and is a amazing thing in Canada. I know it's not a thing that you guys really worry about a whole lot, but I know for the US, like that kind of stuff could bankrupt a family if organizations like St. Jude are not around. So
I've got family in the States. I know about that.
Yeah, again, soapbox I don't want to get on today, so I'm gonna not. But yeah, St. Jude is an amazing organization. I've got 2 kids. If either of them ended up with, God forbid, ended up with cancer, I would be super appreciative that St. Jude's around. Not that I'm not already. That sounded bad. You know what I'm trying to say. Hey, Law Death, how are you doing this evening? Law Death, you since we're talking, they're still looking up stuff. Since I'm talking while they're looking up stuff, let's be honest, that's what's going on. Law Death makes maps and for Roll20 and useful things for Roll20. Law Death, do you have a link for your Roll20 store for those in chat that may actually use it? The ship that we had on Sunday night that got blown up, and you have a link to like your store is the wrong word, your portfolio on Roll20. But the ship that we used for the ghost ship on Sunday night was one of his that he graciously gave me to use, which I appreciate very much. That was awesome. But yeah, if you've got a link to like your portfolio or whatever it's called on Roll20, drop that in chat. Or let me know and I will drop it in chat. One of the two, something like that. Advertise yourself. That's what I'm trying to say.
Interesting. Like, I can't find anything.
Did you see what I put in chat,
okay.
Trojan?
No.
If you do Game Master's Guide 2, page 36, they have magic items and like some other magic stuff, but I'm not specifically seeing like
Game Master Guide 2, you said, right?
yeah, set 2, yeah.
I will see what page?
36.
Magic items.
I don't see like armor or
Takes
weapons or
aim
anything,
action,
but
healing potion, Marium potion, pants of warding.
Always with the pants.
Okay, so these are just basic fuck it, I'm making my own.
Go for it.
do it, man. Do it. Go, bro. Go,
One of the
bro.
nice things about tabletop RPGs, you can't find a rule for it. Fuck it, make it up on your own.
Yep, fuck it.
Yep.
We'll
Yep.
do it live.
I have done that repeatedly.
Or when the book just doesn't have what you're looking for. It's like, not quite.
All right, so getting back to the game.
We were playing a game.
Sorry, guys.
Apparently.
Sorry, guys.
It's okay. Give me time to add in my new spell and everything.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah, the pants of warding actually give you a +5 as long as they're not washed. So your armor rating.
Oh, that's gross.
However, your charisma score takes a -5 for every day that it's not washed. It's compounding. You end up at -20 real quick.
That's gross.
Okay.
You
So,
good? Okay.
We're all good.
All right.
So, Valenta, when you enter this room, again, it's just a bunch of discarded stuff. But you see a couple chests that have just been haphazardly thrown into the corner. And I'm using the word chests politely. They're more just these wooden crates that have a top just loosely placed on top. Mom spaghetti. Okay, we're back. I hope chat caught the chat caught that. Sorry about that, everyone. I don't know why Zoom hates my audio setup, but apparently it's against people using a mixer. But we're back. I'm gonna yell at them and find out what's going on. But before, I go and do that, we're back to our game. Zoro's character just rolled again, and she found a chest along with two haphazardly thrown crates. Yeah. Yeah. How about now? Can they hear you? No. All right, give me 1 second. I think I know why this is happening. Yep,
No.
there we
The
go.
whole plate of spaghetti now.
Haha, now I hear the.
Yep,
All the
There we
meatballs,
go.
like peanut butter, everything.
Peanut butter coated
All of it.
meatballs, all of it interlapping,
All
and the
of it.
dog was just right there.
The whole thing.
there
The
we go.
Okay, they heard it. Hey, what's
Okay,
appropriate?
maybe we're allowed to play now.
I don't know.
This is what we get for stalling to look up magical shit. This is the gods are against us.
I mean, it could have been worse. It could have been that whole plate of spaghetti.
This is true. It's very true.
All right. So, like I said,
The next 3 days were terrible.
I feel like there's a real story here.
There's not, though. That's the greatest thing.
Valetta, you walk into this room and you just find more items haphazardly thrown across the floor. A couple crates with just these very weak looking plywood tops, probably be the best description, are very crudely stacked up into the right hand corner of the room. Over off to the left, you do see a very large two-handed sword sitting in a sheath, leaned up against the wall.
Okay. I am going to grab it and observe it and see if I know the make or anything at all, where it may come from.
Okay. Let me see. I need to open up my character sheet here so I have a reference.
What would I need to roll for that?
You can give me cultural lore.
Oh, okay. Oh.
Well, you may not stunt your lore.
You
Even
can
though-
actually.
you
There
can-
are
you can-
exploration
you
stunts
can
and
stunt
role-playing
the lore,
stunts.
yeah. But I will say with what you found, even though it looks like the sword has been made for a human size, this is definitely dwarven craftsmanship. As you see a series of dwarven runes carved across the cross hilt of the sword.
Okay. I'm going to pick it up, recognizing that it's dwarven make. Leave the room and most likely see. Oh my god, I forgot your character's name. Magnus. I saw Magnus. And I'm gonna be like, since we still don't know our names technically yet, dwarf, do you know what this is? Do you recognize it?
Well, it looks like a sword.
Well, yes, I have eyes. I know what it is, but it looks like it has some special runes or glyphs on it. Do you recognize it? I know you have the surface, but you must have some knowledge.
Well, let me have a look at it.
I'll hand him the sword.
All right, and when you look at the cross hilt, the cross guard of the sword, it says "The blight be damned" in Dwarvish.
Well then.
A little rude, but okay.
I mean, it's to the point.
Say that again. Sorry, I got the tail end of that.
The cross guard of the sword in Dwarvish, where the runes are, it says "The blight be damned."
Oh, I can't read that though.
No, I would have looked at it and just sort of whispering, "The blight be damned." Something to do with Darkspawn?
Oh, what does that? Don't you have a special order that goes down and just kills a bunch of the darkspawn? Do you think it's one of theirs? Something of the dead?
Oh God. I mean, yes, but how would have this ended up out here then?
I don't really see any, well, underground dwarves at least in that other room with the bodies, but then again, I haven't really explored any of the other rooms, so maybe one of them came to the surface?
Magnus, you can give me a cunning roll if you would like.
Oh, this should be good.
If you have cultural lore, you can use that.
This should be good.
So 10, 11, 12. Yeah, with that, like glancing over the blade a little bit and the runes, it clicks in your head. There's just like a sudden realization in your head that this two-handed sword may have possibly been crafted for a Grey Warden at some time.
Really?
Well, I can't use it. It's not really my area of expertise, so if you want it... Unless you don't want it, then I would be happy to trade it in for something else.
Now, how large did you say this sword was?
It's a two-handed.
It's a two-hander made for a human.
Made for a human. So, slightly tall on me, slightly short on a Canary.
What are you doing with that toothpick?
Well, apparently this was made to kill Darkspawn.
Do you need something special for that?
It possibly, from what I can gather, was made for a Grey Warden.
But, I mean, if it was made for a Grey Warden, how come we don't see their signet on it?
It could have been a custom piece.
I thought they were obsessed with that symbol of theirs. But if it's dwarven make, maybe
Or
not.
it might have been a gift.
No, that is true. Well, we could always hang on to it. I mean, if none of us wants to wield it, I'd say it'd probably be a pretty penny. Don't know about you, but I could use some coin.
Well, let's take it with us.
While this is going on, what is Estia doing?
After sitting down and resting for a moment, curiosity got the best of her, and she's coming down into this room here to investigate.
Okay. You can go ahead and give me a seeing roll if you have it.
I do not.
Okay, so then it would just be perception.
I also barely have that.
You're seeing or searching. Damn.
I don't need it, apparently.
You don't need it apparently, because that's an 18.
Yeah.
So
It's the hot pink
That's
dice.
high.
And that's a double with
that's
Max.
a double, yeah. Yeah, let me go ahead and get the pop up the stunts you can do with that one.
There's a quick reference sheet for it at the very end of the player's guide for set 2.
Player's guide set 2?
Yeah. Very, very last page is the quick reference.
Perfect. All right, role-playing stunts. So actually, exploration standard spells. Let me... All right, so it would technically be exploration. So you've got 6 stunt points to use for that.
Woo!
Not sure if any of them would really help me in just looking about the room, though.
Let's see here.
Maybe advantageous positioning, but that depends on whether or not I actually find anything. Because these seem to be more focused on looking for or at a specific thing,
Yeah.
whereas I'm just going in looking for anything interesting.
Okay. Well, with that, I will say that your search is a little more in depth than when Valantha came in here. And as you're you're looking around, something like a small pendant catches your eye underneath the sleeve of one of the discarded articles of clothing that the blood mage had tossed inside here.
Well,
Son of a bitch.
definitely grabbing that and taking a closer look.
All right. And when you get a full look at this amulet, it is solid gold, and there is this image of what looks to be like a darkspawn skull with these very large and thick curved horns coming down to the side of its face.
Would I perhaps recognize that particular silhouette, or is it just a very curious looking darkspawn skull?
Give me a cultural lore, maybe.
Could I use arcane lore?
Yes.
Okay.
So that is 6, 10, 14. So you remember this from one of the colleges back in Tevinter that was dedicated to the study of some of the old gods. This one specifically is from a rubbing of the old god Razikale, who is the dragon of mystery.
I really thought that was going somewhere different with the rubbing god. Just throwing that out there.
Nope.
Oh God.
Interesting.
And this itself, the skull was placed is the top part of a carving that shows the binding of the old god by the maker, placing her deep under Tevinter.
Okay.
I'm sorry, not deep under Tevinter, deep under Thetis.
Rather than shoving it into my pocket, I think I'm just going to put it around my neck and tuck it under my shirt.
Okay. I'm going to send you something.
Please tell me there aren't cursed items in Dragon Age.
Have you learned nothing about
This
putting
is not
on
a thing that I know.
magical items?
Yes, there is cursed items in Dragon Age.
That's like half of them.
Yeah, it's true. Hello, Red Lyrium.
I just shot you the information.
Nice.
And you put it on, and you can feel just like this warmth begins to glow from it, and then it's almost as if you have been wrapped in a very comfortable blanket.
Definitely cursed.
In the best possible way. Okay, well, I'm going to walk out of this room looking very happy and satisfied.
What was the name of the god again? Obviously, I'm not there. I don't remember the name.
Razikale.
Oh, okay. Oh, okay.
As the lore nerd just ticks.
I was gonna say,
I
like,
totally heard a completely different name, but I was also thrown off by Imp with his joke. So I was just like,
The god
oh
of rubbing.
yeah. Okay.
Orzus,
Yeah.
was there anything specifically you were doing while the two of them were looking at the sword and the blood mage was doing something in the other room?
Well, I put the spiked hammer up and went and collected my sword and board, wiping the bits of whatever off. I actually think that he probably would have investigated around the altar a bit.
Ooh. All right. Do you happen to have searching under your perception?
Fuck no.
Do you have seeing?
I have nothing under perception.
I thought I did that before when we were in battle. I was trying to I thought I used seeing to check stuff around it.
I think you took a
You
quick
did.
glance.
You took a quick glance.
Was it? Okay, I can't remember.
But yeah, Imp, go ahead and give me a perception roll.
With my great 1 in perception. This will be lovely. I see. Fuck all.
With a 9, aside from the card, not the card, but the painted runes that have been placed along the outer rims of the stone in blood, and the small bowl of blood and gore that sit in the center of the altar, there isn't really anything of interest to you.
Okay. I think like he'd probably just because there's nothing to kill at the moment, so he's really not super interested in anything else. He's probably gonna just poke around in the stuff in the bowl because it's bloody and it maybe there's something of interest there, but I think that's really all he's doing.
Okay. Can I get a magic roll from you?
No, because I don't have that.
Just to note, I don't know if this affects anything at all, but just to note, remember how during the battle I thought maybe the markings in blood had something to do with it, and she used the arrowhead to scratch it off.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, just remind
I
me.
remember that.
Okay. Oh,
Hey, that's better.
hey!
So when you
15.
stick your finger inside the bowl,
Swear to God, if the bull bites me.
there's just a sudden flash of imagery in your head as you see like multiple people being brought down and slaughtered and used for sacrifices in this blood magic ritual. And as it begins to go on, you note there's a specific instance where you see the blood mage pull out a brick on the right hand wall of the room that you're in, and he places a small box inside of it and replaces the brick.
Okay. Trying to figure out if my character cares. It's just a small box. Is it ornate? Is it just a little plain wooden box?
It looks silver.
All right, then I care. So yeah, I'm gonna go try to find that brick and find the box.
Okay. And with how clearly you saw the image, you go right to the brick and you pull it out. And inside there is this small silver box that is trimmed, that has like gold lining around it. And then there's the symbol of the chantry stamped on the lid of the box.
Refresh my Dragon Age lore, because chantry means something completely different to me because I've been reading
their
King Killer.
religion.
Yeah,
It's their religion.
Oh, in that case, he's gonna set the box on the floor and hit it with his hammer.
Oh!
Okay. Give me an attack against the box.
Oh, you are Kunari. You don't give a shit about the chantry.
Oh wait, that was damage. Whoops. Actually, it should have been.
Oh shit!
I'll take that.
Box didn't stand a chance.
Okay, so your maul you lift the maul overhead and you bring it down on the box, and everybody just hears the box shatter and splinter into hundreds of pieces. And when you bring up the maul, attached to one of the spikes is this old decaying looking heart inside, just impaled.
What's all the noises, Jeff? What happened?
Just, cleaning up messes like you do.
Well, making some.
Well, and he just actually, I don't think he responds to that, but he walks over, or Orzus walks over past Astasia. I keep wanting to call her Anastasia or
You can just call her Varus.
Varus.
It's easier for everyone, I think.
With the heart on the end of the mace, and just kind of hold it up towards her. Friend of yours?
Can I do an arcane lore check on this? See
what are you looking for?
what or why it's here, tucked away in a box, if it's related to this ritual at all?
Yeah, go ahead.
My suspicion is that it has something to do with his daughter. Might be her heart.
Blood magic.
Even once.
316. Yes. You assumed that the heart was something that belonged to his daughter.
Okay. Oh, she just kind of plucks it off the end of the mace and. Well, you found his daughter.
Part of her? Ugh. If he was doing necromancy, doesn't he need like the whole body?
The heart will do in some cases.
Ugh. All right. Well,
Looking for a vessel to put her into, so you only need the heart for that.
oh,
Disgusting either way.
And you see Estia throw the heart behind her, and there's just this thack noise before it just comes resting at Magnus's feet.
Probably a good thing that you weren't standing right behind me, because I didn't know you were there.
Right in the face.
pow right in the kisser. All right. Well, you have fun with your bloody bits. I'm going to keep looking for stuff. Back in this room, was there anything else that I was able to find, or it was just that
The sword and the two
sword.
crates.
Oh, okay, I don't think I knew what was in the crates yet, so I'm gonna look in the crates.
All right, and when you pull the tops off the crates, inside them is a total of 4 healing potions.
Fuck yeah! Oh my god, I'm turning into Ash. I have so many healing
I
potions
was
already.
just about to say. Starting your hoard already.
What? Hey, at least I don't have like 20 anymore, okay? I've remembered to use some. Shit. Okay. Good to know. We're not friends, so I keep them all. Okay.
Or is this will remember that?
we're not playing Telltale, okay? All right, so she's gonna keep moving on. What haven't I explored yet? Okay, I guess yeah. Move on to the next room.
You can't get in there. The door is locked.
Oh, I am not zoomed in, so I didn't realize there was a door. Okay, my bad. Be like, that's no stranger to this. I'm gonna get my lockpick out. Start fiddling with it, and that's my dexterity.
Yep.
Okay.
So that's a total of 14. Yep.
Yes, I believe you 100%.
You get into the fiddle along the log, and there's just an audible click as you're able to rotate it, and the door swings open slightly.
Common thief. I shouldn't be surprised.
I just ignore her and just peek my head in.
All right, and like
Just
as
to
you
see if there's anything.
you peek your head in, and there's just this another waft of that smell of like rotting flesh and meat from behind the door.
She puts her scarf back up over her nose and just out of habit has her bow ready as she walks in and peeks around the corner.
All right, and when you walk and you peek around the corner, you see this body of various parts from different people stitched together with a open wound in its chest where you would place a heart,
Mm-hmm.
And it looks like you found the body that he was building for his daughter.
Oh God, I'm having flashbacks to Dragon Age 2. Oh. Okay. That was sad. First of all, but it's gross. Okay. Because I'm dumb, I'm going to look around to see if there's anything of importance in here, whether it's on the body or around the walls that could be good.
Okay. You can give a search roll for this one.
I don't have searching, so just straight up perception.
Yes.
Ooh. Oh, now I roll good. When I'm not in battle.
And you walk in, you begin to take a look at a table off to the side of the surgical table where the body is at. And you do end up finding 2 gems, a ruby and an emerald.
Ew. Just laying there?
Just laying there. Just delicately off to the side on a like a piece of silk.
Curious. She's just gonna kind of wrap them up in the silk and kind of tie it in a little knot, whatever, with the silk and place it in one of her pouches. Be like, all right. And look around the room if maybe they had any significance, like they're supposed to be placed somewhere or plucked from something.
Since you're not really knowledgeable about blood magic or magic in general, you just think that there were a couple gems lying on the table.
Okay. Yeah, she don't know much about it. Okay. So yeah, after searching everything else and seeing that those were the only things that really there, she's just gonna kind of have this sigh, looking back at the body real quick and go, poor bastard. Sorry this happened. And I'll leave and close the door behind me. Don't go in there. Unless you want to hold your breath. Unless you want to go in there, mage. I mean, then have at it, I suppose.
And as you're talking, you hear Jimmy screaming as it's like growing closer to your location, and then there's this audible crash and bang and the sound of tumbling as he goes tumbling down the stone stairs, and then a thud as he slams into the door of the basement before he gets up and shakes himself off, and he again continues screaming as he's running towards you guys, and he's got half of the head of the old man in his hands.
Who's running towards us?
Jimmy.
What? Our stooge.
Useless Jimmy.
Oof, okay. The reaction I had immediately is not the one I should take then.
Why do you have half?
He fell apart.
Oh no.
Muted, Raven. I mean, I know what you said just by the hand gesture.
Left half, right half, kind of half.
Top half, like the jaw separated from the body.
Oh.
We were having tea. He was talking about flowers and biscuits, and then all of a sudden his jaw fell off and his body imploded. And why? I didn't do anything.
You bored him to death, it looks like.
Jimmy.
Yeah, I think you
that's
killed
what
him.
happens when people get bored.
Well,
Yes.
apparently.
Does, yes. You probably see when you talk
literally
about
killed
flowers.
him. You bored him to death.
Yes.
As he drops and he's like, I'm a monster.
Yes.
Oh.
Yes.
Hold on a second.
Not as much
why
of a
we tell you to
monster as
shut
the
up.
necromancer in the other room.
Hold on a second. First, yes, you are a monster, Jimmy. Second,
Says the blood mage.
Valenta, this happened right after you came out of that room. What did you find in there?
I thought my hint of, cover your mouth because of the stench was kind of a giveaway. But if I have to spell it out for you, dear, I suppose I have to. Dead body. Which I'm pretty sure is the one you were mentioning earlier that needed a vessel, so maybe we should just, as a
Not
precaution...
put the heart in it?
That's
Don't- stomp
All
the
that
heart.
was
Let's
in
not
there.
put it in the body. No, let's
Just
just
the
stomp
vessel.
the heart.
Nothing else.
Jimmy's like
Not that I could
pacing back
see.
and forth, and he's just like muttering to himself, like, I gotta learn not to be boring. I can't have everybody's heads falling in my lap.
This is why we tell you to shut up.
Okay.
It's for
okay.
your safety. It's for your safety. I'm concerned for you. It's for your safety.
And he just goes like deathly silent. He's just standing there shaking as he curls up against the wall in a ball, just rocking himself.
Good, Jimmy. I told you if you want to go in there, you can look at the dead body, but I would probably stomp on the heart just to be safe, because I'm pretty sure I found its vessel.
Oh, Jimmy, did you bring his heart?
Not
he's
that hot.
He's like wide-eyed, and his skin is just completely pale as he's just shaking with like bringing his knees to his chest.
Jimmy,
Did you bring the heart?
Poor
This
bastard.
is important.
Why would I need the heart?
well,
You didn't just leave it up there, did you?
I'm sorry, he fell in my lap.
Jimmy, how could you go get it?
You get it.
No, you're the one that bored him to death. We need the heart. Quick, now. Go.
That's right. And since you were the one that bored him to death, Jimmy, you're the one that has to step on the heart. It's the only way it works.
Oh my god, you guys are horrible people.
Y'all know Valantha was talking about the heart that
Okay.
just
Here we go.
lost, right?
We'll deal with
Okay.
that
Yeah.
I need someone here, whoever's talking to Jimmy, to give me a communication focus. If you have deception, you can roll that.
I feel like Ortis is doing most of the
It's
talking.
gonna need
Damn
to be
it.
from
He
Orzus.
initiated it, so
I'm not. I don't speak well with the words and things. So this is going to go terribly.
Oh,
I can go fairly well.
As just a look of defeat washes over Jimmy's face as he stands up, and he just like slowly begins to like walk back towards the exits of this basement, his head hung low, his hands in his pockets. And you could just see that like whatever drive he had inside of him when you guys first got here is gone.
I reach down to my side and take the short sword I've been carrying from the caravan and toss it to him. Jimmy, you might need that.
For what?
To get the heart.
Valantha's like behind him, going like,
But so I'm supposed to stab the heart, or am I supposed to step on it? I'm confused.
Well, get the heart out of the chest and then step on it.
you know what? I think we're being a little harsh on Jimmy. I feel like if he's strong enough, he could just pierce the heart while it's still in its chest.
As he reaches down, he picks up the sword and just slouches and begins to walk out of the room. You are
And as
all
soon as he
horrible
leaves-
people.
We
And
are.
as soon as he leaves, I'm gonna be like, all right, I mean, don't get me wrong, I like to pick on him just like everyone else here, but I feel like making the poor boy carve out a heart is a little far.
That'd be good for him.
He has to learn sometime.
he helped imprison us, and he was going to help sell us. He
I'm
deserves
pretty
this.
sure he was just a lackey. He still wets himself.
He didn't try to stop it either.
He's got to stab something at some point. Might as well be something easy and
Oh,
dead.
there you go. He can stab a heart up there, but I think we should also stab this one over here.
Where
It
did
was-
you throw that anyways?
It was already
The hallway.
stabbed because it was impaled on one of
Yeah.
the spikes of my hammer.
Oh, that's true. Yeah. Okay.
There's a very large hole in the heart.
That's true. So yeah, it like landed right here.
We should
Well-
take our second break though.
Yeah. Now that we all know that you are definitely the worst people in the world for picking on this poor, like 15, 16-year-old kid who's only trying to get home.
The fact that
Hey,
he
I didn't start the whole heart stabbing thing with him, so Valantha's hands are clean with that.
All right.
The fact that he believed Orzus is his own fault, I think, is
That's
what
true.
it boils down to.
All right, so we're gonna go. We're gonna go take a break and probably reevaluate some of our life choices here. And when we
I
get
stand
back,
by my decisions.
and when we get back, we'll find out what other horrors these monsters are going to inflict on poor Jimmy.
Yeah. Yeah.
So the whole plate of spaghetti.
I
We
can't
are
remember.
horrible people.
Did I
That's
take
fine.
the sword back from you, Raven?
No.
Okay, we are back.
Oh, hi.
Oh, hero.
And then the entire plate of Jello too.
All the Jello?
All the Jello.
What about the pudding?
I mean, the pudding obviously, but the Jello too.
Oh, wow. Wow.
I'm in a mood tonight. Apparently, I don't know what it is. It's fine.
Are you hungry? Are you
I'm
hungry?
not. I'm just like I've gotten back to trolling Spooner's Sloth on Twitter, and I'm in a mood tonight. Apparently, it's fine.
That is a full-time hobby.
It is.
I was
Full-time
gonna say,
job.
this is like Imp's one release to troll another DM. So
I was gonna say I feel bad for Johnny. That would be a lie. I don't. I honestly like Orzus just like has the like this fucker's gonna get me killed. He needs to not be so wet behind the ears, and let's get it out of him. Probably the meanest thing possible. But
okay, so with that, are you gonna check that final room there, Valanta?
Yes, I am.
Okay,
Yes, I am.
and like the door swings open, no putrid stench in this one.
Oh, good.
And the only thing that is in this room is a single chest.
Well, thankfully, mimics don't exist in Dragon Age.
Yeah, they do. Yeah, they do.
What? Oh, shit. Okay, I'm investigating, or I'm just taking a peek. Oh, where's my thing? Would this be investigating or seeing?
It would be investigation.
Okay.
Yeah, investigation.
hit it with your axe first.
So that is what, a 9, 11, 14?
Mhm.
You're checking the chest, you said.
Yes.
All right, and it looks to be a finely made wooden chest with iron bindings and a small silver latch on it, but there's no lock.
Hit
I'm
it
also
with your
gonna
axe.
search the room. I was like, there's gotta be something that's
Nothing else in the room except for this chest.
I'm going to go up to it and take out one of my daggers and just kind of stab the top of it real quick.
And there's just this thunk as the tip of your dagger bites into the wood.
All right. And you said it's locked, but there's no lock?
There's no lock. There's just a silver latch over where the hoop is at, where you would lock in where you would place a lock itself.
All right, I'll use my dagger to move it and try to flip the chest up.
And you flip it up, and it opens up, and inside you see a small mirror. The mirror itself is this just soft, beautifully made glass, and the around the outside is just silver and gold, and with 4 points on it, each one with a different gemstone inside of it.
Are any of them missing?
Nope.
Okay. So there's 4 gemstones around it.
Yep.
And when I look, I'm gonna go ahead and grab it,
Okay.
and I'm gonna look into it and see what happens.
You see yourself.
See, now this seems suspicious. Ugh.
Seeing yourself in a mirror seems
Asthea.
suspicious.
Asthea, can you come here?
You need my help, sweetie.
You know what? I do need your expertise.
Well, it's about time you recognize my expertise. What can I help you with?
Cannon fodder.
Does
Sorry.
it's funny. It's like we have that relationship where we kind of like politely insult each other, and we just take it, and we're just like, okay,
Yep.
just keep like catty bitchiness to each other. We accept it.
It's like the old lady cattiness.
It's like that scene from Futurama where they talk about how women, when they're like bitchy to each other, it means they're friends, and if they're nice to each other, you know that it's not true.
Whiskquill, thank you for that 2-month resub.
Oh, appreciate that. Drop your mimics and hearts in chat for Whiskquill. Appreciate the resub, sir.
Feels
Or Matt.
bad for Jimmy. Also sorry for interrupting. Oh, don't feel sorry for interrupting. But yeah,
How
feel bad for
dare
Jimmy.
you interact with us?
Jimmy had it coming. It's fine.
Jimmy had it coming. That poor kid.
I know. He's only like 16.
Don't worry, kid. We'll take you home, but we're going to torment you along the way, so you have a lot of issues growing up.
Builds
You know
character.
what? We already started it when we were in the cages. Might as well keep it
I
going.
mean, as soon as we drop him off, he's no longer our problem.
It's true. It's very true. So I'm gonna kind of hold the mirror up and just like, does this seem magical to you?
It looks like a mirror.
It's a bit tacky to me.
Well, it seemed awfully suspicious just having it lay in this lonely little chest in the middle of the room. Seems
Anonymous,
odd. Yeah.
an anonymous user just gifted Law Death a tier 1 sub.
Ooh!
Thank you to whomever that was.
Anonymous.
Anonymous.
Anemoniness.
Well, perhaps it just belonged to that lowborn's daughter, and he kept it here for safekeeping.
Still seems odd that was in a chest in the middle of the room.
Versus a chest in the middle of somebody's body.
That is what you're going to find strange. In all of this, that's what you're going to find strange.
You're not there. I don't hear your words. Well, I'll just keep it for now.
Weirds.
But
Thanks for that sub. Appreciate that. You guys drop your hearts in
All the
chat for
sub
Weirds as well. All the heart spam. It's lovely.
some hope. Well, I guess I'll keep it for now. I mean, it is a little pretty, but still weird. And I'm going to turn back to the chest, and I'm going to see if I can move it out of the way.
Yeah, you just move it out of the way. Nothing underneath it.
No hidden stone.
Nope.
Quite good at this. Nope. Okay.
It just easily slides out of the way. And there's just another stone tile, just like all the other ones.
All right. Well, it's odd compared to the other rooms, but I don't know. This will be worth something, I'm sure, especially with the gems. So, thank you, dear.
Yes, well, there was at least one treasure down here, and she kind of taps her chest under her clothing where the locket was and starts heading out.
You're not a treasure.
Oh, but I am.
Did I hear like a tink when you tapped it?
Yes, because I'm wearing my gauntlets.
Oh, okay.
I think when she replies, but I am, I think Orza spits on the floor in front of her.
Oh, if something's a treasure, what did you find down here?
Stops right at the spit and goes out of her way to do a dramatic circle around the spit and then keeps going.
Oh, God. Oh, what did you find that's so special then?
Oh, I'm sure you'll find out later.
I
Maybe it
don't
was a
plan on
spine.
dressing you.
She could definitely use one of those.
Bad we didn't find you a brain down here, brute.
I mean, there's plenty of both laying all over the place if you need them.
Say we could find you a heart, but the other one's been skewered, so
Yeah.
we'll just
Oh,
keep
yes.
I
going.
wonder how Jimmy is doing with
Let's
that.
see how Jimmy's doing with that, by the way.
Yes, let's go.
The boy will be fine.
Okay. And so when you guys climb back up out of the the trap door and everything in the barn. You go back to the small farm cottage. You can hear Jimmy whimpering to himself, and you can hear multiple like squishing noises as his heel is just like hitting the wood floor. And when you walk in, you see him, like, the heart is completely obliterated.
Oh God.
His entire upper half is just covered in blood. You can see that the chest cavity has been all but obliterated as he was trying to get it open enough to get the heart out. It looks like he started off with like a couple swings and then started digging with the sword.
I think I'm gonna walk up behind Jimmy, just place my hand on his shoulder as he's like stomping on the heart. I think you got it.
And like when you do that, you can see that he's got a bloody emerald in his other hand.
How in shock is Jimmy right now? Like, how responsive is he?
Doesn't even notice that you are there. He is just whimpering, and it's like kind of like he's on autopilot right now. Like he's in shock. He's just repeatedly stomping because of what you've made him do.
Yeah,
So
I'm going to go up to him and pull him.
I'm going to take the emerald out of his hand, and I'm going to just like direct him out the door.
Yeah, and I'll take you
away from everything, and go find him some water.
Poor Jimmy, send kindness.
We don't want to set him on fire.
Jimmy, Jimmy, hello, Jimmy.
Give me a communication focus for this one.
I don't have. Oh, okay. Whew.
Okay, your snap, like you're snapping in front of his face, like brings him out of his shock. And what?
It's okay. It's okay. First of all, good job.
Why do we have rocks in us?
Well, we don't. We'll get to that.
No. He brings up his hands like there was a green rock in his heart.
Was it like a rock, or was it shiny? Was it metal?
Bloody. Orzus comes back with the water at this point, tosses the emerald to name that I can't pronounce. What? Astia. No, to you.
No,
your
Volantha.
Volanthra. Thank you.
But Volantha.
Volantha.
There's no R.
Volanthra.
I keep calling her Valanthia, so.
Yeah.
Tossing it to the ranger. Fuck it.
Yeah, there you go. The elf.
And handing Jimmy the cup or pot of water, whatever I found.
He takes it and he just like dumps it over his head.
What?
Or not to get.
Did you find this where the heart was, or was it in the heart?
It was in the heart. It was like sticking out, like somebody stabbed it in there.
Interesting.
The player has an idea. The character's probably too dumb to know it. Never mind.
You sound like Travis from Critical Role. I would know, but Grog's too dumb.
Yeah, like I think I know why it was there. Orzus, on the other hand.
Orzo.
It's Orzo.
Talk tonight, apparently.
Right now it's soup.
Orzus, on the other hand, no fucking clue why that's there. So I'm not gonna say anything.
So she's gonna kind of just cover the gem real quick, and she's gonna take her other hand and be like, "Oh, all right, Jimmy. First of all, good job. Second of all, I did mention you could have just stabbed the chest. You didn't have to carve it out, but
I tried.
Okay, but all right. You know what? I don't know about the others, but I'm gonna come clean with you a little bit. Just don't feel bad. He was already dead. It's fine. It was necromancy. You're fine. You're fine.
Wait, does that mean I can bore the undead to death?
You know what? Maybe. I'm not sure, but you know what? In your defense, they're already undead, so maybe they're bored to begin with.
It's like he just like wanders off like in his mind again and just starts thinking to himself.
Okay. I'm gonna look at the gem.
Let me. And Orzus will actually like get down on his haunches in front of Jimmy, and he will pat him on the face a little bit to get his attention.
And like he like shakes his head.
Good job. Thank you.
Mhm.
And he'd clamp him on the shoulder and get up, because that's all Orzus knows as far as compassion.
And like he nods and he like slowly walks over to Magnus and hands him the short sword that from like tip to hilt is just completely covered in blood and gore.
Oh no, you can keep that.
Okay.
No, that's
You might need it for more hearts.
no. I
defend
gave
yourself?
him a dagger. He's fine. Just give me the sword. Give me the sword. You have a dagger. Give me the sword.
And just hands you the gore covered sword.
Thank you. I will certainly clean this off later. So I'm just gonna
Yeah,
kind of hold it.
It looks like a murder weapon at the moment.
Yeah. So she'll. I mean, she's okay touching blood. She'll just hold the hilt, but she kind of has it like, oh, thank you. Okay. Well, go take Jimmy to the cart and get him a treat or something. I don't know. I feel like he needs a moment.
The car wander off.
Cart was destroyed.
Yeah, that's what I was.
Was it destroyed? I thought it was.
Yeah.
Or not
Yeah,
the cart.
we
Oh,
couldn't
no.
fix
The horse. We still had one decent horse.
No,
No,
we
you
had
You
a
have the
dying
crappy horse. You have Biscuit.
Isn't Biscuit technically still alive though? It's only been like a couple hours.
barely.
Like
Technically
biscuits on. You can see Biscuit up on the hill. Like you can see its legs shaking.
Oh god.
I was
so
gonna say, I
sad.
thought we had biscuits and gravy, and we ate biscuit.
Ah.
Didn't we actually eat biscuit?
No.
Or was that
No.
no?
It was
We
literally.
just talked about it. Okay.
He made literal He made actual biscuits, not the horse.
Okay.
Right. So I'm gonna
Oh.
look at the gem real quick. And does it look similar to what I found downstairs?
When you wipe the blood away, yeah, it looks like the emerald you found downstairs.
Huh. All right. And without pulling out the silk cloth holding the other one, she's just gonna kind of wipe off what she can and just place it in her pouch.
Okay.
Okay, so I don't feel as guilty now about this man, so do we want to see if he has a cart or supplies or anything and head out? Because I think we are done here. Or if y'all don't have to speak up at once, I'll just ransack the place myself. It's apparently what I'm good at. All right.
Well, why would there be a gem stuck in the heart? I'm looking squarely at Esthea.
Oh, I can think of a few reasons.
Estia, go ahead and give me an arcane focus roll. Arcane knowledge, if you have it. It's because he's a golem.
Oh, shiz.
Yeah, I can think of a few reasons.
Well, don't keep us in suspense.
Well, if he fell apart from boredom, it's likely that he was a golem.
I can kill golems?
Or just I thought you were taking him outside. Just take him outside right now. We've had enough. For
The
now.
way you stomped on that hard, you could probably kill more than golems, and just kind of ushers them outside.
So, question then, since you held the heart in your hand, did it feel like there was a gem inside that heart before you tossed it?
That's a good question. I guess we didn't really examine it.
There was no gem in the heart.
Okay, I was gonna say, let's go back downstairs. You go downstairs.
There was
Oh.
none that I saw, though I can't say I looked for one.
Do you know that was he trying to turn his daughter into a golem? Or was the golem just a decoy while he did his work?
Well, making her into golem would probably be the easiest way to do it. He didn't seem particularly skilled.
No, but I suppose that's why he was seeking help. All right, well, again, don't feel so bad about this poor bastard and whatever he was, but it's still very early in the morning, so I say we push on. The sooner we get to Ostagar, the better. And I would like to get out of the marshlands. That'd be very nice. I'm kind of sick of this.
Yes, it does seem like a good idea. The quicker we get out of the swamp, the better. Just give me a minute, please. Don't interrupt me. She wanders off. And she takes a minute to cast a spell.
Okay.
Let's see if it will roll this. Come on. Where are you? There we go. Okay. I exceeded the target number.
Yep.
Nice. Okay. And I am going to use the maximum amount of mana on that. So that's going to last for 6 hours, and it's going to give me +4 to my armor.
Okay. As you cast the spell, the earth begins the earth beneath your feet begins to like rise up and slowly cover you in like a thick layer of rock and dirt.
See, the Valantha is actually oddly doing exactly what she told her to, like, don't bother me. She's like, I don't care. Okay. But me as a player, with all the times I have fucked with Fox, I want to just so bad, like, push her, but I'm not going to.
Look, you saw what happened when we interrupted a ritual downstairs.
I know. I'm just
Nobody
saying. It's
wants
just
to
be
happen
funny.
right now.
It'd just be funny. But no, I'm just gonna no. But I'm just like me. I'm just like, oh, I want to interrupt. But while she's doing that, I'm gonna just ransack the house. I shouldn't say ransack. She's not gonna be that violent, but she's gonna go through. She's gonna collect. She's gonna try to find a sack or something. Collect whatever provisions she can. Find anything useful. Whether it's cooking utensils, any kind of medical herbs or anything like that. Preferably elf fruit.
You can go ahead and do a search roll.
The one thing I can't do.
So 7, 10, 12. All right, you're able to go through, and a lot of the stuff that you find in there is just baking ingredients to make pastry and tea. A bunch of flour and sugar and teas.
Not to be specific, but what kind of tea?
Various kinds. Like a lot of it seems to be natural teas crushed from leaves. You have like a chamomile style tea, and then you've got one that's a little more like a little thicker, almost like a black tea. And then you've got one that's specifically made with elf root.
Ooh, okay. Yeah, so she'll take just a handful of the teas as well as all the ones with elf fruit in them.
Okay.
Since she knows
Or
that.
send a message on Discord of the conversation I'm having with Jimmy while I'm trying to calm him down.
Oh, jeez.
And he looks like he looks up at him, and then he looks up at you, and he looks back. Like, should I crush the heart?
And Orzus will just give him a firm nod.
He's like, I need a sword.
I believe that the elf has one for you.
And you just see a change in look, and a very stern and like responsible look now on his face as he gives you a nod, and he goes stomping back down towards the house. And he comes in, he walks over, and he doesn't even say anything to Valantha. He just grabs the sword and walks back out of the house in like a very driven state of mind.
Excuse me? That's rude.
Can't talk,
what are you doing?
to kill.
What? He's already dead.
And you see him just stomping out, and he's got the sword in two hands as he's bringing it up, and you see that he's walking right towards Astia.
Okay. Well,
She
she doesn't like her, but needless bloodshed. So she's gonna take out her bow, have it notched, and she's gonna be like, drop it.
and he doesn't even pay attention to you as he goes. He like gets right up to like it begins to run at Estia, and he just yells, "Die, monster!" And he like takes a swing at her with the sword.
As that happens, can I try to shoot him in the hand?
He gets an attack against Estia, but you can make the attack as well.
Okay. What's my new ability? Let's see here.
It's gonna die.
Perform a pierce armor stun for.
Will an 11 hit you, Fox?
Will.
Okay.
Oh
He
my!
also got a stunt.
What?
Yeah, he got a stunt.
Well, he did.
Remind everyone again at this point that my defense is 10.
And he's going to use Mighty Blow. So how much damage does your longsword do?
Short sword.
The short sword do? How much does it do?
Oh, I thought we gave him the two-handed longsword.
No, you gave him the short sword.
We did give him the short sword.
Was it the short sword? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Wait, so now I'm confused. Is the long sword or the short sword the one with the dwarven runes?
The two-handed sword is the one of the dwarven runes. The short sword is whatever was given to him in the first place to dig out the heart of the old guy.
Yeah.
Okay, I thought
I'm just asking how much damage the short sword does.
Right.
That's a D6. Should be a D6 plus strength.
I think it's strength based.
Somebody.
All right, so it's going to do 8 damage.
And that's minus my armor, right?
Your armor will stop up to whatever its rating is.
Okay, so I will take 4 damage.
And he walks up and he just brings the sword down across, like in like a diagonal fashion from like shoulder to hip on Estia, and it's cleaving deep enough into the rock armor to cut flesh.
Correction. That's dexterity, not strength.
Okay, that's fine.
Can I react? Aside from being shocked and surprised.
Let's see.
Well, I shot at him too while he was doing it. Specifically for the hand, so it not only pierces his hand, but it makes him drop the sword.
Okay, you're going to deal damage to him, but it's not going to hit him in the hand because you need to get the disarm stunt in order to do that.
Oh, okay. That's
so
fine.
I need damage that you roll against Jimmy.
I'm going to be a bad person here, so it's a D6 plus 2 plus dex. My apologies.
Oh, a D6 plus 2 plus dex?
Yeah. I'm sorry, Fox.
Okay, Fox, that it's going to knock it up to 9. 11.
How dare you be honest. Yeah.
So you just see this like fury burning in his eyes as he cleaves into you, and then his eyes go wide as like an arrow pierces through his chest. And he looks down at it, and like he drops the blade, and he falls down onto his butt.
Is he still alive?
He's dying.
Okay. I'm going to.
Right, I'm going to go up and heal.
Well, do I get an action in before anyone else?
Excuse me.
You are close enough to get an action before Valantha can get there.
Okay, so as he's kind of falling down, I'm going to reach my hand up and kind of cup his cheek and let it slide out of my hand as he falls. Anyone with keen enough vision can see a little bit of like a red mist between the tips of my fingers and his cheek as he falls.
Did you just walking bomb the poor kid?
Well, we're about to find out.
Fucking A.
No, because it can't roll over a 10.
Nope, I did not.
Nope, that's 8, 10, 11.
However, he has seen me do it, I think, twice now, I believe. So if he noticed that kind of red mist, then at the very least he would know that I may have just done something to him.
He's more concerned about the arrow going from his back and now sticking out of his chest than, the mist that may have just been thrown in his face.
Well, and I know technically I can't disarm him because I didn't get the stunt, but I was still aiming for his hand.
The blade. I know you were aiming for his hand, but unless you're disarming him, it's not really going to do much.
Damn it! So it doesn't pierce his arm or anything.
No.
I didn't want to kill him. Okay, so I'm gonna go up.
I'll say it pierces his arm. We'll do that since you were aiming for his.
I wasn't trying to aim for a fatal part of him. Is what I'm trying to say. It was more of a warning. Step the fuck off.
But you can see from like the blood that's now like pouring out of the arm, you've probably hit an artery.
Okay, I'm gonna walk up to him then, or run up, kind of get in between him and Asthea, and look at him. And I'm gonna be like, I don't know what in the name of the gods you were trying to do, but unless you have proof about her being a golem, you don't attack us. And I'm going to take the arrow out and
all right, do that heal roll.
Yeah, I was like, what do I do for healing again?
Do you have a kit or bandages?
I have bandages, however,
okay.
I have a quick question.
Uh-huh.
Elf fruit I know is used for healing. Do I need to make something out of it in order to...
There is not enough elf fruit in that tea in order to be able to make a potion or anything out of it.
Okay, that's why I was wondering, so that's okay. So I'm going to go ahead and... So, what do I use again? Constitution?
Cunning.
Cunning?
Cunning healing, yep. That is not going to work.
Shit.
He like reaches up and he brings your head in, like your ear close to his mouth, and he just whispers, "Orzus," and like he falls back and he passes out from the blood loss.
Okay, I'm gonna wrap up his arm. At least.
Well, unless you can make unless you can heal him in 2 rounds, he's going to die.
Fuck.
So how many bandages do you have?
I only have 2.
Well, so you have 1 more?
Yeah. Asthea, do you want to help me out? Apparently this poor boy has been lied to.
Help you what? Fix him?
Yes, please. Makes you feel any better, it's not his fault.
Fine, step aside.
Thank you. I'll step aside.
I kind of stand over him, looking down at his bleeding self.
Wow! Wow!
So you see Asthea just stand over him. Her gauntlets extending as an arcane lance just flies and pierces through Jimmy's head. And the body just like drops still.
There, fixed. And she walks away.
You are all horrible people.
Yeah.
I don't know what you're talking about.
I really hate to do this, but yeah, I'm gonna aim for her calf.
Okay. That's definitely going to hit, right?
Yeah, it is.
Beats a 10, it hits.
Oh, you're so lucky.
So with the rock armor and everything, you're going to take 4 damage as the arrow flies and like bites through the dirt once again and slices across the back of your calf.
I'll kind of scream out and drop to one knee, clutching my my leg.
And so I'm gonna stomp over to you, have one more arrow notched, kind of aiming at your head, be like, I swear to my gods, you do that kind of shit again. When I was sincerely asking for help, mage. I now know I cannot trust you.
Me to help someone that tried to kill me? I think not.
I told you that he was lied to, and you know how stupid he is and believed it, and yet you went ahead and killed him when I made a promise to him. Reluctantly, I admit, but I still made a promise to get him home.
Well, his stupidity is his own fault, not mine.
Well, and I suppose I was stupid to trust you too, but here we are. So what we're going to do now is leave you here. I don't need your help to get out of the woods. I'm gonna leave your ass here. I'm gonna take this poor boy's body to his family, like I promised. And you can use that wonderful little pool of blood that I spilt from you right there to heal yourself, because we're done. And I'm gonna put the bow away and start dragging his body away.
Where is my... Hey.
Hey, it finally worked!
Finally it works. Okay.
All it required was the blood of an innocent.
Right? So we're gonna burn a little extra mana on that one.
Poor Fox.
And I'm going to find something to kind of makeshift a
You've got 3 stunt points for it. Oh no, you don't. Never mind. Never mind.
No devils.
Although I did have 4 stunt points on that arcane lance that I didn't notice. Damn. Could have done some great stuff with that.
I'm going to find something because I mean, again, I already searched to see if there was like a carriage and horses, and you said there was nothing. So I'm going to find like a crate with any kind of leather straps or anything to kind of makeshift what's it called that people put, like a gurney kind of.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, well, yeah, but it's like obviously it has no wheels or anything. It's just to kind of drag.
Search roll then.
Okay.
They don't ask how he got the hole in his forehead.
He was perfectly fine last time I saw him.
Oh, I was teetering on that 6.
You end up finding like a broken field plow.
Okay. And I'll put his body on it. Drag it over to Orzus. And give him the most dirty look that I'm sure means nothing to him, but just this dirty look of, I know what you did.
What happened?
Know what? I don't want to talk about it. You got your wish. We are leaving the mage behind, but guess what? You get to carry him out.
Why am I carrying the boy?
Because you started all this.
How?
You know what you did. Don't play stupid with me.
I told him that he did well slaying that golem and that the thing that he killed was dead long before he found it.
I'm sure that's exactly what you said.
It is.
You can actually do a skill for this.
What, to see if he's lying or to
no, to lie
or
to
lie?
You. To lie to you.
Oh.
Oh my!
Well, he already said Orzus. I already know the truth.
No, you
all he gave you was a name. That's it.
What page is this? Are the skills on again? The abilities.
I'm sure I probably don't have it, but
it's going to be conversation or communication. If you have deception, you can roll that. If not, it's just communication.
Yeah, I've just got a 1 in communication. This is going to go terribly. Or not. I don't know. Never mind.
Do I have to roll against that?
There is a number he had to beat, and that will definitely beat it. So he sounds sincere. He sounds like he just told the kid he did a good job.
I simply told him what he killed had been dead long ago.
You may have, you may not, but you did something to get inside that boy's head. Either way.
Maybe it was shock and bloodlust. I don't know. But all that I told him was that what he had killed was a golem held together by blood magic, and they didn't actually kill anything.
Mm-hmm. Well, I suppose he already knew that ahead of time, didn't he? Whichever words you gave him, This is still your doing, regardless of what was said. And you are carrying him out of here. At least to
Doing no
Ostagar.
such thing. I didn't force the boy's hand.
You're still carrying him to Ostagar.
I think at that point, Orzus just turns and begins walking in the direction of the town, leaving the elf behind with the body.
And the group just goes off by themselves.
I know, God, we're falling apart until episode 3.
I'm just kind of sitting here going, huh.
Are you outside with me right now?
Yeah,
Magnus?
Orzus was up. Oh, sorry.
Sorry,
I
yeah,
was
Magnus.
I was literally leaning on my axe, watching the entire thing, going,
Oh,
huh.
fuck. Okay.
Huh.
And you, what about you, dwarf? Do you want to help or do you want to go on your own?
I mean, are we carrying him all the way to Ostagar? How far is that?
I think it was only a couple more days walk, 2 or 3 more days.
From
I
where you're
thought.
at, it's about 2.5 days walk.
With
Yeah.
a dead body through a swamp.
In the heat.
You don't know if it's hot. You just have all that armor on.
That's fair.
Are you
I can
sure
get us
that's
to
a good
Ostagar.
idea? I mean, we might attract.
Party is going to Ostagar. The
I
party is going.
promised. God, damn it! Now it's gonna be in my head. We're taking the body to Ostagar. I promised this poor boy that I would take him home. Granted, that is in Redcliffe, but if we get to Ostagar, I can get a carriage and take him the rest of the way myself. I'm heading that way anyway. So if you don't want to help, it's fine. I'll find another way. If I have to
Well-
parry this poor boy out in the woods, I will, but I will tell his family of his whereabouts.
My question would be, how are you going to explain to them how he died?
The truth, a blood mage. Why do I need to lie about that?
Well, there was an arrow involved as well.
I'm still telling them it's going to be a blood mage because that was the final blow. We tried to show mercy and she
I-
decided to go another way.
I mean, we also could just bury him out here and tell his family what happened and not carry him the entire way.
Don't really know if I want to bury him here amongst other horrible, mangled souls' bodies in this death of a place. But how about this? You helped me carry him, since I'm not quite strong myself, to a more remote and peaceful place that's not quite this. I know that's hard in the Kakari wilds, but they do exist. We'll find a field for him and we'll inform his family. I will inform his family when we get there.
It seems like a better idea than dragging the body all the way there and then explaining.
I just feel awful about what happened. Despite my teasing him, he was just a boy.
Unfortunately, not a very bright one, but
I don't know his upbringing. I don't know if he didn't have the education, went in with the wrong crowd. I mean, it was quite obvious he got roped in with those bandits.
we're burying him before we get to Ostagar.
We'll bury him before Ostagar. I just don't want to bury him here amongst so much other death.
That's fair.
Sounds like it's pretty much you and me for right now. Unless you want to leave after burying him, then I completely understand. But I'll leave that up to
Well.
you.
Orzus isn't too far ahead of you guys. He was walking the same direction. He just wasn't taking the body.
Right.
So he's like maybe 50 yards ahead of you. He didn't walk.
In
off-
her head,
Yeah.
she's thinking like, oh, he's just like, fuck off right now. So
Okay,
until they
fair
catch
enough.
up,
I
that's
just
her head.
I wasn't sure like how clear I made that, so I wanted you to like realize he was still there.
How hard
Yeah.
is it to drag this, by the way?
Not that hard. Like the plow itself, the underside of it has been pretty much broken off to where it's now just, you can easily use it as a sled to pull the body.
Okay.
Yeah, it'd be weird if I had the whole plow thing on it, because then
At
I'd
that
just
point, it'd be
turn
like,
away.
no, we're not plowing a field from here to Ostagar.
Let's leave a trail, guys.
Should we, before we jump back in, should we take our last break for the night?
Yeah, I mean,
Okay.
and this just once
Oh,
again
God.
like just shows how much like this group is just the worst.
I don't know what you're talking about.
I feel worried for any NPC I now bring towards you guys.
There were two outcomes for that, and both of which were fine with Orzus, and that's what motivated that.
God.
Okay, well, let's go ahead and take our last break for the night. I am probably gonna need Jesus after this.
What would the maker do? So what would Jesus do? What would Maker do?
What would the Emperor do?
What would the Emperor do?
Oh, there's a whole lot of heresy going on in this channel right now.
Oh, God.
All right, let's go ahead and take our last break for the night. We will be back in about 5 minutes, guys. And we are back to how to train murder hobos.
Literally
Yeah.
the entire bowl of pudding.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Just
And I'm
all
talking like
over-
mixing bowl
yeah,
size, like
yeah.
mixing bowl.
all
Mhm.
over her
Better
head.
question is, can you resurrect it?
I mean, probably, but then that's how gray jellies get made, or gray oozes. I guess technically,
You guys are just the worst.
Well, you know,
You know what?
I blame
that's
Lemon.
fine.
I fear for any civilization you guys run across in this game. I just feel it's just going to be set on fire wherever you go.
It's fine.
You
No,
are the next
this
blight.
is fine.
No, the
It's called
person who would
spreading
set
kindness.
stuff on fire is dead.
Okay.
This is
Hunter,
bad.
with a tier 3 resub, you guys drop your hearts and mimics in chat for the Hunter Wild.
I ate pudding today.
What? Putting today.
Oh god.
I'm kind of glad he's coming in after
No,
everything that just
no,
happened
you
is
need to
After
know
the
is
this.
story
done
of
with.
Jimmy.
He doesn't need
Fuck
to
the
know
murder hobo.
anything.
Oh, I
This is a
These
fucking
things-
murder
they
hobo.
are the worst people ever. Let's just put
Tech-
it that way.
Fox is
I
the
have
worst
technically
person.
not murdered anybody that wasn't a monster.
I was just defending myself.
No.
So after
Murder
that
hobo.
entire clusterfuck of
Oh,
what happened
God.
with poor Jimmy and everything, everyone begins to make their way, either together or on their own towards Ostagar. Wandering,
Taking the body to Ostagar. Sorry, it's not gonna,
Damn it.
not gonna not happen.
wandering through the Kakari wilds. Now I know Valantha told Estia that she was traveling by herself. What is Estia doing? Is she keeping close by the group, or is she going off on her own?
So I think we've looked at the map enough as a group and have been heading in the same direction long enough as a group that she would have a half decent idea of the direction that she needs to go in. And then she would see Orzus go in that direction, and she would see Valentha and Magnus go in that same direction. So she would wait until there was a bit of distance between them, and then she would go in that direction too.
All right, so you're all pretty much wandering, heading in the same direction towards Ostagar, but there's there's a separation between Orzus and then Valantha and Magnus and then Estia. Okay.
Yeah, the separation between Orzus, Orzus didn't walk off too far. He just walked off enough to get the point across that he wasn't carrying the body.
Is anyone taking Biscuit with them?
No. That horse can stay behind. It's going to die soon anyway.
Oh god. Did the horse have like a bridle on or anything?
The horse has the supplies.
Yeah, I was gonna say it has our stuff.
Crap.
I mean, we've got this plow when we're done with the horse.
Ugh. I call ahead. If you're going to walk ahead of us, you might want to note the horse has everything on him. Food, supplies.
Yeah, you made
Shelter.
Jimmy pack everything he could from the broken cart onto Biscuit before you left.
Let me reiterate, food.
How far? It's only a couple day walk, right?
Yeah.
It's about 2.5 days walk.
I don't think Orzus cares.
I mean, Biscuit can still technically walk. We'll have him walk a bit, and then if he keels over before we bury this poor slob, then we'll just
Bury the horse too.
Okay, so
no, not bury the horse. We'll just put the supplies on the plow.
Biscuit begins to walk with you, and every now and then, he walks near the plow and nudges Jimmy, and then just keeps a pace with the plow.
Don't make me fucking feel for the horse that's gonna die.
He'll be with Jimmy soon enough.
So, who wants to give me 3d6 here?
I think the guy in front should.
What am I giving you 3d6 for?
That's true.
Just randomly?
Yeah, just
Okay.
randomly. 13. Okay. So you for the rest of the day you travel through the wilds unaccosted. and it's about sunset when the group in the middle of both Valantha and Magnus hear Biscuit give out like a groan, and then there's just this audible thud as the horse falls over.
Oh, I hope the food wasn't on that side.
I love how that's your concern.
A turn back, or is it still turn back?
Oh.
And you can
So-
see that the horse is now dead on the side of the ground, but Jimmy, you know, as dumb and as innocent as he was, knew how to position goods and whatnot on a pack animal. As it fell over, the pack itself seemed to just like slide off the horse onto the ground. There's a couple of crushed apples and broken twigs, but for the most part, your supplies are still intact.
So, are we digging 2 holes or just one real deep one?
Unless you intend on carrying a horse.
Not bring in the horse.
No, I'm not.
Just get the
I'm not
supplies
carrying
and
the horse.
put it next to Jimmy's body.
Okay, if we're doing that, you're helping tow this.
The Rojan, the area that we're in, is it marsh? Is it swamp? Are there rocky outcrops that I can go find rocks from? Is probably a better question.
Yeah, you could definitely find rocks.
Okay. So while they're doing that, or is this going to go begin to collect rocks for a funeral mound?
Yeah, if you're just burying them under rocks, it's a funeral mound.
Yeah.
Okay. And it takes you about an hour to collect enough. Now, are you collecting it for the horse and Jimmy, or just Jimmy?
The horse, not Jimmy. No, I'm just kidding. Just Jimmy.
Wow.
Just Jimmy. It takes you about a half hour to find enough rocks for the mound for Jimmy.
Okay. Can I count that as taking 5 for some additional hit
Oh yeah,
points?
you guys,
Fantastic.
you guys after the combat and everything have had enough time to take 5.
Okay. Which is what
I didn't
it
take
was
any
a
damage.
D6 plus
I know
the
some people
con.
did. Plus, it's 5 plus your con plus your
5.
level.
5 plus your con plus your level. That's right. Okay.
Yeah.
Has how much time has passed since we had our little quarrel
The
and
entire
then
day.
set out?
Since you murdered Jimmy,
It's
Okay,
like the
so
entire
it's-
day has passed.
Okay.
So like you're getting on, like as like Biscuit fell, the sun was setting.
So did we find at this point when the horse collapsed, did we find like a decent spot that is not so marshy we can
Yeah,
bury the body?
Orzus did. Orzus found a part of the land where he can create a burial mound for.
Oh, okay.
No,
Got
being somebody from near the area, Zoro of Valantha knows that you definitely do not bury anything out here. Burying things tends to
Oh,
make them
got
come
it.
back.
So right. Okay. Good to know. Okay. Okay. So I'll help pile up the mounds and everything. She's going to say a Dalish prayer for the boy. And looks over at Magnus. I don't know why I keep forgetting your name. I keep wanting to call you like Taurus or something, and I know that's wrong. Magnus. She's gonna look over at him and she's gonna be like, "Thank you for helping me with him. I
Well,
really do appreciate."
as I said, he wasn't the brightest one, but he was at least somewhat useful up until his blood-crazed rampage.
He did cook really good. That was a surprise.
Huh.
But yes, just wanted to thank you. I suppose now is as good a time as ever. My name is Valantha. I suppose we're just going to be traveling companions for the next couple days. So again, thank you.
Magnus.
That's weird calling you dwarf, so thank you.
Right. I'm gonna
Suppose I should thank you too, Orzus. Or no, I don't know your name. I'm supposed to thank you too, Kanari. Despite
More
what
than
happened.
welcome. I still don't know what you're referring to, but you're more than welcome.
Of course. And what should we call you?
Or is this?
Orzus?
He just nods. Yep.
Should probably set up some camp then.
probably away from the funeral, from the
Yeah, no, let's
body.
walk for another.
I'm going to take the short sword that Jimmy valiantly wielded, rest in peace, and sort of jam it into the funeral mound.
And you jam this gore-covered blade down into the mound, as it now sticks there as a as homage to the fallen young man that you were supposed to take back home to his family farm, but he ran afoul a certain ill-tempered blood mage.
That was just a poor choice.
Yeah, it was.
As you all set up camp, the rest of the night passes without issue. You're able to set up a couple of the tents that Jimmy had packed. There is enough food to be made for an evening meal, and you all drift to sleep without any issue.
Question:
Yes.
is Asthea with us?
Not quite. She's probably like 75, 80 meters away. So it's like in eyesight of your camp, but she's not in your camp.
Okay.
Probably sneaks in after everyone's asleep to get something to eat.
Probably.
And as you are all sleeping, every one of you is racked with a nightmare. As you begin to see sudden flashes of Tevinter cultists around a monument chanting as this large stone statue of a bound woman with a demon skull etched above her begins to pulse with this archaic power. The earth begins to shake and crack and tremble around the cultists as you can see Darkspawn slowly start to climb up out of the cracks. And then looming over the stone carving itself, you see these large black wings of a dragon spread out as its roar echoes across the landscape. And every one of you sit up gasping for air at the same time. Asthea, the medallion around your neck sort of giving off a little more heat, almost as if it almost enough to burn the flesh that it's touching.
Probably
Like,
kind of
does
take it out from under my shirt and just kind of let it sit atop my clothes.
And as you do that, like, it's giving off a visible light as it pulses.
I'll probably kind of cup my hands around it to block most of the light, so the rest of the group doesn't notice me at all.
And when you cup it, you know how when you put a flashlight against your hand, you can still see the light? You can see the pulse of the light through the back of your hand.
Just do my best to try and keep it covered. If the rest of the group notices the light, then I'll have some explaining to do. Not only explain why I'm in their camp in the middle of the night, but also what the hell this is.
Yeah, you're like everyone sits up and they see you as like you absentmindedly have like taken refuge next to the fire because it was getting a bit cold during the later hours of night.
I take my bow out and aim an arrow at her, and I'm like, "What are you doing here?"
I stopped by to gather some of my supplies.
Well, then gather them and go.
Question. Why is everyone awake?
Dragons. And Orzus will just lay back down.
Dragons?
Oddly enough, dragons.
Now, do I notice what Esthea is covering?
Everyone can give me a seeing roll for that one.
Hell yeah, I'm
If you
good at
don't
that
have
one.
it- If you don't
Without-
have it, it's perception.
I'm not rolling because Orzus doesn't care.
Okay. Both Magnus and Valantha, you see the light pulsing through the back of her hand as whatever she is holding is just giving off like this brilliant light.
What
Remembering their conversation before, I still have my bow or my bow and arrow up, and I'm just like, is your little treasure reacting to something? The one that you were so fond of that you found?
Oh, lower the bow. We're not making another grave tonight.
We didn't make one to
I'm not
begin with.
sharing
We
this
just
one.
covered them in rocks.
It seems to be. Yes.
What?
What is it?
It's a
Sorry.
charm. A simple charm.
Of course it is.
Glows?
Care to show it to us?
I have nothing about my religion to hide, and she uncovers it.
And when she uncovers it, you can see the familiar demonic skull that you saw in your dream etched into this golden medallion that's just glowing with this brilliant light.
Would I recognize the symbol at all? Not necessarily from the dream, but just historically? Or artifacts?
You give me, it would be cultural lore.
Okay.
Well then, yeah, you do know that this that the medallion is of a Tevinter make dedicated to one of their old gods, the dragon Razakael, who is one of the who is the dragon of mystery, and one that has not yet appeared back in the world.
So you worship that god, do you?
Most of us from Tevinter do.
You do realize what that god is, correct?
Of course I do.
Then you know, if we apparently all had the same dream, that that little trinket there that you have, and perhaps even that sword we found that could have been from that one Legion of Dead, whatever they are, that or a Grey Warden, you don't think that maybe another blight might be upon us?
I won't deny that it's a possibility, but won't have answers until I get back home.
I don't know about you, but it's only been 12 or so years since the last blight, and if I remember well with my history, that all other blights took at least a good couple hundred years in between. I'm not really ready for another one right now. So if your people are causing this, might start to become my problem.
I would just like to not have to deal with nightmares, and if that involves that trinket of yours going in a box or in the ground, I would recommend it.
Of course, it would be the Fereldans that blame us from Tevinter for the blight again.
They
ever
are
get
your
tired?
gods. They're your gods.
Or is this, as this conversation is going on, your ears pick up the sound of battle horns beginning to echo all throughout the wilds, and almost like a wave of sound as it starts from far off, and it just in unison just continues to follow one another.
Are these All right. Are these battle horns that would be militaristic in use, or are these like orcs?
These are darkspawn battle
Darkspawn.
horns.
All right. In that case, he does care,
It's like the entire wild had just woken up.
and he sits bolt right back up after laying back down, and looks at the group. Shut up. Be quiet, and get ready. And stands
What?
and draws his sword and his shield.
And as he says that, all of you can just hear the wave of sound approaching your camp as more and more horns join in the chorus. And then without warning, you just see this, you hear this, the flap of large, powerful wings fly over you as the roar of a dragon just echoes throughout the area.
Can I recognize it as either a high dragon or not?
You don't even have to like roll for anything. This is definitely a high dragon.
Oh, okay.
And as soon as like it passes overhead, you can see the silhouette on the night sky. The medallion that Estia is wearing just just illuminates the entire camp.
Which way is the dragon flying? North, south, east, west?
It seems to be flying east, like just flying over the wilds at the moment.
So not the direction we're going. So
No, not
okay.
the direction you're going.
Less worried about the dragon at the moment then.
This is gonna sound stupid, but there is relevance behind it. What color was the dragon?
Seeing as how you were able to, seeing as how the medallion was light enough, you can actually get a glimpse of it. Give me one moment here.
Okay.
And I will post the link in chat.
It was hot pink.
Hot pink.
It was
I
almost
approve
hot
that
pink.
idea.
Oh shit. Okay. Okay.
That's probably not good.
So I'm going
Oh,
to
very good.
slowly turn my head and look over at Esthea, and I'm going to be like, too late. We have a sodding blight upon us now. We have a blight. This is official. We are in another blight.
Reset
And
the
now we
clock,
have to
there's a
find
blight.
rewarders.
Wonderful.
Don't really see what all the
Gladys.
fuss is about. The old god has returned. We should celebrate.
Oh, yes, because he's going to spare your life.
She,
Oh, I'm sorry. I know my history a little better. She will spare your life because she's so kind,
what,
even to her own people.
what worries you more, Zoro, is she wasn't even next in line. She skipped 2 other dragons to come up.
You just had to take the little trinket out of the crypt.
Of course. It's a symbol of my god. I wouldn't leave it down there.
I have a feeling we're going to need to hang on to this other sword. Just a hunch we may need it, but now we need to find some Grey Wardens. But guess what? They all fled, Thetis. They went back to Weishaupt.
That image.
Oh god, I need to see this image now. Jesus. Goddamn office stuff. So I don't know if you all remember this, but 2 years ago, no, sorry, 3 years ago, my nerd's coming out, sorry. 3 years ago, they were all banished and disappeared from Thetis. They are way far west. And I don't know about you, that is a long walk.
Then we really should get moving.
Maybe someone knows. Okay. I have a hunch. It's probably stupid. Granted, this is months old, but there may be some people in Redcliffe that may know whereabouts of Grey Wardens, if there's any left in Ferelden at least. And if not, then I guess we keep traveling west. Maybe my people know, I don't know, but as far as I know, from what I remember, they went back to Weishaupt.
Well, the sooner we can get to a safe place, I don't have to worry about something creeping up behind me, Jimmy, during the night.
Oh, no,
Sooner
you
I
still
can
have
get
me
in-
to worry about. No,
Oh,
you
I'm
still
not
have me
worried
to
about
worry
you, darling.
We should get
Oh.
moving before those catch up to us.
Thankfully, they're distracted in that direction, so if we're quick and quiet, we can evade them. So, packing up early, let's go. I think it'd be faster if we carry what provisions we can and maybe leave the cart.
Probably
Leave the cart, leave the horse. Oh, we don't have to worry about the horse. Leave Jim. We don't have to worry about Jimmy. Let's just go.
Hope you guys can keep up. I'm quite fast. And I'm going to grab the provisions and just go without hearing their answer.
Okay, and you travel. Are you still heading towards Ostagar?
Yes, because Valantha's plan is to still get more supplies and now a cart to make it easier and faster to get to Redcliffe. So, yes.
Okay. So I'm going to say for like the next day and a half, you all travel as fast and hard as possible, evading random patrols of Darkspawn throughout the wilds. And on the last leg of your journey, you come to Ostagar, which over time has been transformed into a fort. After the Battle of Ostagar and everything, and after the years after the Blight and the Inquisition, this is now turned into a staging point to keep the people safe from whatever lurks in the wilds. And as you are coming out of the wilds, the gate quickly opens up, and a couple armored soldiers come out and they escort you in, quickly looking you over for any signs of corruption before they do. But once they realize that you aren't tainted, you're quickly shoved into the inside the walls of the fort, and it's quickly shut behind you. And when you once you get in there, you look around, you can see that there are a bunch of former Templars inside the fort, still wearing their Templar armor, but these symbols, the Templar symbol carved out of each one.
So that they've like abandoned the Templar Order?
The Templar Order has fallen.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Sorry, I was making sure I was understanding that
Yeah,
right.
after the events of Inquisition, the Templar Order has all but collapsed on itself.
Okay.
If I remember right, some people still like carried on as if they are still part of the order, but technically the order is still recovering / sort of rebuilding, sort of not there.
Yeah.
It's a gray area right now.
They're the
Okay.
Templars.
Yeah. All right. What time of day is when we get in here?
It's about midday by the time you get into here. You are all exhausted and on the verge of passing out from moving as hard and as fast as you did through the wilds.
Okay. So since we kind of just ran in and stopped, she's just gonna kind of look around at the Templars and go, "Who's in charge here?"
And like they look at you, and they're still looking. They're looking over the group, and they still have their hands on the sword, on the hilts of their swords. And you hear a voice call out from the distance, and you hear like an older gentleman cry out, "That would be me, elf. Who are you, and what were you doing in the wilds?"
Long story short, kidnapped in my sleep. age-old tale of bandits. That is not important right now. They carted us towards the Kakari Wilds, where we came from. And I don't know if you've noticed, but there is a horde of Darkspawn.
Oh, we've noticed.
Heading.
We
Oh,
have
good.
noticed.
Oh, good. At least you're alerted. So, kind of concerns me a little bit. So, what are y'all doing here standing around?
Our jobs. I don't know if you noticed, but the wilds still need to be pushed back. Do not worry.
Well,
We have sent ravens and criers to alert the king and queen of this instance. Although,
Oh yes, the king and queen who sit on their thrones.
he kind of like turns his nose up at that comment.
Orzus will just look down at him, since Orzus is Orzus and probably at least considerably bigger, and just like smirk.
And like as you're towering over him, he stands his ground, looking up at you, like is showing absolutely no fear whatsoever.
He wasn't really trying to intimidate him. He was just kind of smirking at him.
I'm not gonna lie, just kind of put it in there. My heart fluttered a little bit when you said the king and queen. I'm like, that's me in my story. Anyway. Anyway, and she's a Grey Warden. Anyway.
Finding more things that Orzus just doesn't like, and apparently nobility is one of them.
Right, well, have you heard anything back yet? Any Grey Wardens about?
As you say Grey Wardens, a couple of the former Templars begin to chuckle.
She kind of just rolls her eyes like, oh, come on, grow up.
You do know that they were all banished.
Yes, I am aware. But they're the only ones that can stop this.
Indeed.
If you want to have, then let's go get them.
Are you volunteering? Good.
No.
We need volunteers.
Sure.
Oh, so you know where they are.
As he calls out, and a younger Templar comes over. He's like, "See that our new recruits are given food and shelter for the night. We will talk in the morning about your orders." As he smiles and he looks up at Orzus and begins to walk back to his tent.
This is not going to go well.
Did he just... I'm not taking orders from this man.
Apparently you are.
At least we agree on something, Elf.
Yeah, I don't take orders from a Shem. And I didn't volunteer. I just want to get this shit over with. And they're the only ones that can do it.
And as the young man walks up to you and he like holds out a hand, trying to like escort you to the tent. It's like, we are in desperate need of help, ma'am, and you technically just did volunteer.
Put that hand away before I break it.
Against fighting them, but I don't take orders.
As he keeps the hand out, I've faced worse, Kunari.
Mm-hmm.
Not to mention,
we have to
as he looks around, there are 23 of me around and one of you.
Belanta chuckles.
I'm debating hard on what Orzus would do right now. I know what he would. How much? He's not smart. Never mind. Yeah, he's going to reach out and take the guy's hand as if he was shaking his hand, with the attempt to crush it.
Okay.
No iron bowl.
You can go ahead and give me a strength roll.
So might or intimidation? What do you think fits better? I think might
Are you
because
trying to
I'm
break
actually
it, or are you
I'm
just trying
actually trying to break it. Of
might?
course, I roll pretty crappy on that one.
So
Oh.
like you reach out and so does he, and you go to you go to squeeze his hand, and it like it begins to give way, but then he catches you by surprise as like his hand just begins to overpower yours, and you see everyone else sees him like twist Orz's arm up, and then he like comes in and kicks the knee out from underneath him, and then just pulls a dagger to his throat. Try anything stupid like that again, and your blood will decorate the ground.
Not gonna lie, I'm really glad that happened.
I'm trying to see is his helmet on? No, because he probably doesn't wear it. Again, I'm struggling with like I know what I should do as a player. Like, what is the character going to do? Because Orzus does not give a shit.
Well, after seeing that display and being overpowered, chuckle, she's just going to kind of roll her eyes and kind of just like tap Orzus on the shoulder. And she's like, can we just not do this right now? Let's just go to bed. Or, well, no, it's midday. Let's just go. Tired. It's not worth it.
And he still has the blade at the neck, and he looks at us like,
I'm on my knees.
Advice.
So he is. If I'm on my knees, I'm eye level with him, because Orzus is 8'4" normally.
Yeah.
Oh, damn it! Should have said yes to that.
He just says, "I would take the lady's advice."
Oh, no, he said lady, not elf.
I am not. I don't want to kill you, but I am not against defending myself.
God damn it. Orzus is a dumb fuck. He's going to headbutt him.
Okay. Go ahead and give me an attack then.
That's
So
at least
4,
reasonably
8,
better.
10, 15. All right. Give me a d6 plus your strength for the damage.
We're not friendly, are we?
Orzus doesn't. No.
Right, so he
doesn't like people.
He's holding that, and you just bring your head down and slam it into the back, and you hear a clang as it like rattles against his helmet, and it sends him like sprawling back to where he hits the ground, and he rolls up his now long sword and his shield up, and you can see that the helmet has been knocked off his head, and you can see that he's an elf.
What does he look like?
I think Orzus would just grin at him, and
like he's got the sword up like in a warrior stance, and he's got the blade like tilted on the rim of the shield.
I think Orzus is just gonna grin and nod at him, and collect his things.
So he's like fighting like the urge not to go after you, but after he sees that you are not going to attack, he grunts and he just reluctantly puts the blade back into the sheath and picks up his helmet, and he puts it on. You can see there's a very visible dent in it.
What's the did we get this character's name?
No.
No, not this one. The human that was ordered was named Richardson.
Okay, so Orzus, after collecting his stuff, getting his sword and shield back up, and where they go, will walk over and actually offer his hand to the elf.
And, like, he looks at you reluctantly, and you're not going to crush it again, are you?
Only one way to find out.
And again, he growls because he knows you're challenging him. And so he takes your hand.
And I'm going to give him just a regular firm handshake and go, where am I putting my stuff?
The recruit here will show you.
Orzus, by the way.
Dalen.
And he'll just nod.
And as he
Dalen?
as you shake his hand, you walk off. He begins to go back towards the rest of the Templars. Like, all right, you slack-jawed yolks, back to work. And
Out of curiosity, did he have any face markings?
yes, he had Dalish tattoos.
Okay.
And Richardson like looks around. He's like, this way. And he leads you a little bit deeper into the fort, and you're taken to a large tent where there are numerous cots laid out. He's like, help yourselves to an empty one. Grub should be ready in about an hour or so. Don't try leaving. You are, I guess, conscripted. I don't know what the commander wants with you.
Just make it sound like we're prisoners.
I'm sorry. You expect me to sleep in there? I think not.
Shadow Fox, thank you for the raid. Raiders,
Hey,
welcome on in.
Boo.
Evening, everybody.
Well,
Are we all sharing the same tent?
oh yeah, it's a large like infantry tent. Well, Bam, you can sleep there or you can sleep on the ground. Doesn't matter to me.
I'll find somewhere a little more suited to someone like me. Thank you very much.
I'm sorry, this is the only place you are allowed to sleep.
Still sounds like a prison to me.
Where might I find the one in charge of this place?
The commander?
Hmm.
Watchtower.
Right. I'll be at the watchtower. See you.
Well, it's either safe here or out there with the Darkspawn.
I assume the watchtower is something that would be easy to find. I mean,
Yeah,
it's a watchtower.
It's a very large stone tower.
Okay, that's where she's going.
Okay. So you're going towards the command center in the stone tower. What are the rest of you doing?
Orzus is putting his stuff, off to the side of one of the bunks, laying down and sleeping because it's been a hard couple days through the marsh.
Yeah, you are all pretty much like all of you are pretty much exhausted and hungry.
Before Dalen leaves, she's gonna get his attention and go, I know we're confined here for the time being, but am I allowed to wander a little bit?
As long as you don't leave the confines of this wall, you can go wherever you please.
As much as that displeases me, it's fine. I wasn't planning on leaving anyway. And why are you here?
Why wouldn't I be here?
Aren't you Dalish?
In a sense, yes.
You either are or you aren't. What does that even mean?
My blood is Dalish, but I was exiled.
You have to piss off the right people in order for that to happen. What did you do?
Let's just say I didn't agree with how things were being run, and I took matters into my own hands.
You weren't stupid enough to go against your keeper, did you?
I killed my keeper.
Such a dumb move to do.
Not when they were going for blood magic. Hence why, as he looks around, he's like, hence why I'm with my brothers now. We share a common hatred for that disgusting art.
Right, then I suppose that's fair. So where's the clan now? So I know to avoid them.
Couldn't tell you. It's been years since I've seen them.
If they're anything like anyone else, they're constantly moving anyway, but
Where is this conversation
Right.
taking place? Is it within earshot? Is probably a better.
probably like right inside the tent or right outside the tent. So
You can
I'm assuming
you
yes.
can go ahead and give me a perception roll if you want, Imp.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, you hear him. Like, you hear the conversation going on.
Okay. They're not doing anything with that information at the moment, but it's good to know that I know it.
And he's walking up to the tower, is he? Well, then.
Well, if there's anything to be said for them now, they are no longer under the leadership of someone corrupt.
True. All right. I was just curious. You don't see too many Dalish out unless they're scouting or on a mission. And I could see with your armor and everything, you're definitely not on a mission, at least not for your clan. So just curious was all.
Brings my curiosity. What were you doing to become captured? Not every day that I hear one of ours being surprised by a human.
Suppose I got a little careless, but it's a mission of my own. Don't want to say. Personal reasons.
I will not press you. We all have our reasons to be out and about.
It's good to know. Thank you. But I will tell you it's in a way for my clan, but not for my clan. Let's just say it's more for our people.
Admirable.
But again, I was careless. It won't happen again, hopefully.
Tell me, do you know
Let's
the
just decide.
name of the leader of these bandits who kidnapped you? There is a bounty on them. Oh,
Do we know that?
We have multiple bounties. You
It was
don't
Jimmy.
It wasn't Jimmy.
you don't know the name, but you knew what
Yeah.
he looked like
Yeah.
because
He
he
was-
was a Varan.
Oh, that's right. I was going to say chastened. Right. Of Varn. Well, I
Most
didn't
of
really-
like some of the bandits were chastened, but the leader was
Oh.
Varan.
That's right. Okay. Well, didn't really catch his name, but large man, Varan, I believe. He's with a bunch of the chastened down south, as where they're from. But
As you see a
Don't
smile
much
of
about him.
recognition come across his face. Bloody stag. Tell me, what did you do with him?
oh, he's dead. Trust me. Arrow through his head. They all are actually.
Remain here for one moment. And you see him like walk off to another tent, and he begins to talk with one of the soldiers that are standing behind a commission table, and you kind of assume that this tent is the quartermaster's tent, and they begin conversing, and he nods, and the soldier marks off something in a log, and then opens a chest underneath the table and pulls out like a sack and just drops it, and then Dalen brings it back to you and hands it to you.
I think actually with that, Roja, we should probably wrap up.
Okay.
It's about the time. we can kind of end as that being the last scene before the show basically fades to credits.
You can go
Not
ahead.
until I find out how much I got.
Inside is 300 silver.
Crap, now I gotta convert this to gold. Okay.
That's 3 gold.
Okay.
100 silver. 100 silver is a gold. 10,000 copper is 100 silver.
Yes, it is. Thank you. All right. So I'll just take the bag and I'll just kind of nod and go, didn't realize there was a bounty on his head, but thank you.
So we will leave off tonight with everybody now in the former fort, or the former Templar fort, with the dawn of a new blight on the cusp of overtaking Thetis once again. And a certain agitated blood mage stomping her way up to a command tower to have a word with the commander about better lodgings.
Oh my.
There's no way that that guy finds out that there's a blood mage with us. That definitely
No,
won't
not
happen.
at all.
Oh,
The
and
question
now...
is, did he remember to tuck the amulet back into his clothing?
Nope, but that's
Well, to
okay.
venture's one thing.
I have plans. You'll just have to wait until next week to see what they are.
Yeah,
Actually,
I can't get away.
I'm not going to be here next week. I have to be in Virginia for work.
Oh! Dare you
So-
travel?
Why you do this?
Work did it. I don't trust me.
Oh.
I don't want to go to Norfolk. I can't think of any reason for me to go to Norfolk. Well, I can think of one reason for me to go to Norfolk. That's work. So, you guys might maybe where's this trains with the troop and does something. I don't know. Well,
Yeah,
you guys
yeah, I'm-
That
can
works.
play anyway.
Yeah.
I'll come.
Still a session.
Yeah, I'll come up with a reason as to what Orzis is doing, because he seems like the kind of guy that just would randomly wander off and do his own thing.
Yeah,
And then just
that's-
come back
that's
like,
fair.
oh, hey.
He may find some young troops wet behind the ears and become their drill sergeant or something.
Just spars with them, and by sparring, he's just denting all the
Just-
armor,
beating the shit out. Yeah, that's pretty much about right.
introducing him to the beat 'em stick.
Like here, let's make sure you know how to take a blow. We'll start there, and just beats the
Pulls
piss
out
out
the
of him.
mace.
Yeah, yeah. Find out how quick you are on your feet.
Oh, God.
Yeah. Thank you guys that showed up tonight as we played Dragon Age. This is our third episode. Appreciate you guys being here. We are going to go on a raid here in just a minute, show our love and support to another channel on Twitch. Before we do, Ravenslarg, who are you? What do you do on the internet?
I am Ravenslarg. I am VarietyCaster here on Twitch. Currently on a bit of a hiatus due to some real life family stuff going on. I should be back to casting. I don't want to say next week. I'm going to say soon. Soon, once life sorts itself out. We've got an XCOM run to finish. We've got many things to do and new exciting games coming up later this year to play. So,
Right on. HP Fox, who are you? What do you do on the internet?
I am HB Fox, and you can find me here on this channel 3 times a week, playing very kind and gentle characters. Aside from that, I work very closely with the Hunter Wild on a lot of stuff, and by a lot, I mean essentially everything we do. We have a launch event coming up for Sekiro: Shadows Die Twice here on Friday. It's shaping up to be a real damn good game, so if you're interested in at all in that, stop by when that event is going on. It's going to be 12 hours a day, 3 days a week. 3 days a week? No, 3 days in a row.
That game.
Yeah, I'm not into like Dark Souls games at all, except for the lore and the art. But I'm like, Jesus, phone, stop it. I'm like really excited to make some time to play this one at some point. But aside from that, I also work with Hunter and Loco on Streamer Square. If you're not familiar with Streamer Square, all I can really say is go look us up. We actually just published a really interesting article today and another really interesting one yesterday. So look at our Twitter account at Streamer Square for links to those articles.
All right. Zora, who are you? What do you do on the internet?
I am Zoro for me 3. I am a variety streamer / creative streamer. However, I've been on hiatus for a while and probably for another month, hopefully not too much longer, due to me finding a job and moving to a different state. But when I do stream, it's a lot of story-heavy type games, RPGs, some Dead by Daylight, and a lot of art streams where I do commissions from emotes, characters, everything in between. Otherwise, you can find me here twice a week with these awesome people, Tuesdays and Wednesdays, whether it be a weird, dumbfounded, has bad luck Dampier, or a bloodthirsty, out to kill blood mage elf.
Right on. Rojan, who are you? What do you do on the internet?
I am Rojan Quest. You can find me here 3 nights a week, DMing on Tuesdays of our 5th edition D&D game, DMing here tonight for these horrible people that kill innocent people.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Just defending myself.
Or being a horrible cat burglar. I forgot what Ivar was. Bugbear. Yeah, that's him.
Yeah.
Derping around the streets of Waterdeep. But when I'm not here, I'm over on my own channel every Monday, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, raising money for Extra Life and the Lauren Small Children's Center. Playing a lot of multiplayer games and currently trying to get a Age of Conan RP server off the ground.
Right on. I'm Ipius. I run, I still want to say the old name. I run Behold Roleplay here on Twitch with the help of my fantastic cast members, co-GMs, and everybody that tunes in and watches us play tabletop RPGs here. Thank you guys for being here. If you want to go drop me a follow on Twitter, there's the link there. I don't stream anywhere else. All the content that I stream is here on Behold Roleplay. Law Death, it was Dungeons and Distractions. But we changed it in February, and I still have the habit of, like, when I'm introducing myself, that's what I want to say, because I've said it for 3 years in a row.
So you're going to have to get new cards printed up this year, eh?
Yeah, I'm going to have to get new cards. That threw me off. I was on a spiel. I don't know. Yeah, we do a bunch of games here on the channel, multiple games each week. Working on getting another one together for May, I think is probably the time frame for that one. I've got it mostly cast now, and the cast is fantastic, so I'm looking forward to it. HP Fox, do you want to be in a... No, I'm just kidding. Yeah. I'm not ever asking HP Fox to be in another game because he will just tell me yes.
Yeah, do not put me in that position.
But yeah, I DM the Sunday game for Waist High and Waterdeep, which has been really fun. It's been a different change of pace from our last campaign, because the last campaign was in Chult, and it was a meat grinder, and it was ugly and gross, and like everybody wanted a good change of pace. And Dragon Heist has definitely been that. It's been a lot of RP, and it's an urban setting, and people are going missing from both physically and memory wise, including HP Fox's barista. We are going to go show our love and support to another channel here on Twitch. If I can type tonight and talk at the same time, I will be super impressed. We're going to go raid Torn Pixie, who is doing some mini painting, it looks like. So we're going to go hang out over there. So grab the raid command. Behold a raid. There we go. I'm just doing all the old shit tonight. Apparently, it's a throwback Wednesday, way back Wednesday. I don't know. I don't meme. What is words? Yeah, I'm done. So thank you guys for being here tonight. Really do appreciate it, and we will see you next time. Have a good evening. All right, we should be clear.
Old habits die hard, just like Gimme.